Perfect. Oh, Soup's here.
Oh
I
my
guess I
god,
have to leave now. Soup's also muted, which might be a problem for later.
They're holding cat.
Oh, okay.
They'll be here shortly. But yeah, it would appear I got some interesting notification about literal Soup going live. So
Oh my.
yeah, it might be time.
Okay.
Well, soon TM, but yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there it is. Literal Soup is in theory live.
In practice third. We'll be here shortly.
Oh.
Also, now I can hear myself, so I'm going to.
Oh my god, I didn't know they'd unmuted the stream.
I also didn't know that they'd unmuted the stream. What an awful, awful
Josh.
thing. The worst.
Worthy in-flight entertainment.
I'm going to mute myself because I do want to keep watching Elden Ring.
Well, I don't know if Dan's gonna keep. I mean, it's Dan. He probably will, but like, I don't think. I don't think even Dan can both read. I think this is the one thing that Dan can't properly multitask.
If I had two monitors.
If you had two monitors, you could maybe get away with it. But as it stands, I mean, you could. You have a laptop, right?
No.
Oh. You had a laptop.
I didn't bring it to Denmark. The thing was like practically broken.
Yeah, that's true. It seems like something that's worth having on hand.
It literally like would probably just set my suitcase on fire.
Okay, fair.
That's concerning if it's
That's why I didn't bring it
on.
It would gather some power from like ambient.
From the ether, yes.
Yes.
Will you though? Okay.
I'm getting vengeance on this guy, or attempting to get vengeance on this guy for kicking my ass repeatedly earlier.
Dan, did you kill Horseboy?
Oh no, I'm saving that for with Josh. I could destroy him now. Not that my damage has gone really up, but I actually have a weapon that I like now.
Ooh.
That's an important you were taking the best nap ever. Wow. Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah, that's honestly important. Just like being in tune with your weapon.
I'll never know.
Oh, you're out of Estus, Mr. Man. I am not. Oh.
Why would he walk into that?
No, he's gonna get me.
Did he get you?
Nope. I got him.
Congratulations.
Revenge. Is that the invader dude that had like 1,000,000,000,000,000 HP?
Yes.
Oh my god.
And I'm not. But I just brute forced him now with a +2 weapon instead of a +1 weapon.
Maybe now is not the time, Philip.
Well,
Feels good.
have a good stream, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye forever.
Farewell.
Bye. Josh, are you there?
No, they're not.
Okay.
Would you like me to take a message?
No, I'll just wait till they're back.
Are you sure?
I just want to tell them about my fucking weapon not being able to upgrade.
Oh yeah, they'll enjoy that.
I think I kind of told them, but the problem somehow has not resolved itself. I think like literally 24 hours into this game, level 58, I'm a +2 weapon. I guess I should really go to the kitty zones, the little baby zones.
I mean, how many more do you need to get?
In total, you need 12. I have gotten 7 in 24 hours.
What happened? I dropped a little too hard and it cracked. All right, no tea.
What did you do?
Oh fuck, my teapot cracked a little, so now it's unusable because it's glass.
I have tea bags.
Nah,
Wait,
it's
how
fine.
So you dropped it and it managed to survive?
No, I didn't drop the teapot. I dropped the little thing onto the teapot, so it broke on itself.
Oh, the lid?
Yeah.
That sounds incredibly fragile.
It's actually more accurate to say that the little insert broke a little. I mean, I think it's still usable, but I don't really want to risk like having a little sharp glass edge on it.
Yeah,
you know?
please don't drink glass.
So, no tea this time. That's fine. Whatever. And I guess no teapot. I'll figure that out later.
Today's just gone swimmingly, hasn't it?
Yeah, it just
Josh,
has.
you should see my new weapon.
What is it?
Ow.
Dan has a funny story.
Oh, big sword.
Yes, and look, I'm bringing friends.
Oh my god.
Josh, you're so quiet when you look at the stream and speak.
Yeah.
When you look at Dan's stream, like I don't think you got picked up on the first comment.
Probably not.
Okay, those guys can have fun. But look at this. This is my favorite thing with this weapon. See this random guy?
Wow.
Yeet. Oh, new victim spotted.
Oh my god.
This is probably not the most riveting stream content. I'm gonna level with you guys.
Oh yeah.
Which is
We're
listening
streaming?
which is listening to Josh react to the sound of Dan's video game. Like your stream isn't on stream, Dan.
Oh yeah. Not.
Evan says no, it's great.
I'm not sure I believe that. Anyway. So,
Paladins.
Wow, no justice for monks part 2, huh?
No. Skip that one. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, who needs monks, honestly?
Right?
So where did we leave off? Can we?
Long Death Monk.
I like this one. All right. Well, hold on. Actually, before that, can we just like remind ourselves? Is there anything that we need to remember about the previous tier list?
Okay, what we need to remember is that AoE is not over or underrated; it's rated.
And Drunken Master at the bottom. Ascended Dragon was the And 4 elements is there solely because Fireball, I believe.
Solely because Fireball, and you get it earlier than most other martial classes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that do get access to Fireball.
Pretty good. It's pretty
Mm-hmm.
good.
I just remembered Tyler has Fireball now.
Woo! Finally, now we're a blaster party.
Dan, you can throw
Oh my
AoE
God.
at us.
Tyler, you have a reliable blaster. It's a
Lovely.
miracle.
So I remember what most of these were. So I think we're good to go straight into it, right?
Sure.
I think we are. I'm gonna pull up my tier list in a second.
Yeah, Dan, you wanna go pull up that tier list?
Yeah. Look, I'm safe now. Killed them all. Oh no, there's a little trumpet boy over there.
All right, Way of the Long Death Monk. So at 3rd level, your study of death allows you to extract vitality from another creature as it nears its demise. When you reduce a creature within 5 feet of you to 0 hit points, you gain temporary hit points equal to your wisdom modifier plus your monk level, minimum of 1 temporary hit point. At 6th level, you gain the ability to unsettle or terrify those around you as an action, for your soul has been touched by the shadow of death. When you take this action, each creature within 30 feet of you that can see you must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or be frightened of you until the end of your next turn. Beginning at 11th level, you use your familiarity with death to escape its grasp. When you are reduced to 0 hit points, you can expend 1 key point. No action required to have 1 hit point instead. And at 17th level, your touch... Yes? And then at 17th level, your touch can channel the energy of death into a creature. As an action, you touch one creature within 5 feet of you and expend 1 to 10 key points. The target must make a Constitution saving throw, and it takes 2d10 necrotic damage per key point spent on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
A lot of damage.
It's an action though, so it's you have to compare it to the damage of you just attacking. Normally.
We can also compare it to, I believe, Way of the Open Hand gets Quivering Palm, which is 3 key points and it's 10d10 damage.
As an action?
Yes.
No, actually, not as an action. It's when you hit the creature with an unarmed strike.
Yeah, that's a lot easier to.
No, it's both. When you use this action, the creature makes a con save. Oh, this action? Oh.
Quivering Palm.
Oh, my bad. Wizards, please don't use the word action like this.
Yeah. Well, no, the reason that they do that is because the vibrations are harmless unless you use your action to end them. So what you do is you set it up with 1 turn, and then next turn you explode.
So I was right.
Yeah.
I was right. It does take an action, and you have to hit them. Okay, so it does take a full action.
Yeah, but this is more of just a second turn burst of 10d10 for 3 key points, and honestly, I almost feel like that's better than this, maybe.
This one would use 5 key points to do 10d10,
but
and a full action.
And a full action.
They both use a full action.
Well, sort of.
Except one is even worse than a full action because it's a full action delayed.
Well,
I wouldn't agree that that's worse.
I don't think that's necessarily worse because you're only ever using this on boss monsters anyway.
Right. Also consider this, right? If you spend your first turn melee attacking, you're probably trying to get stunning strikes in anyway.
Yeah.
I think that doesn't. I'm not saying that it's not good. I'm saying that you would rather be able to use it on demand rather than have to hit them and then use your full action. Mm-hmm. I think that is objectively worse in almost every case.
Yeah.
I think the only case you wouldn't is when you have a specific time you want to
be out of range.
You could be out of range, yes.
I mean, that is the other thing about Quivering Palm is that you can, I believe that it just lasts forever.
Yeah, it's like a long ass time. I still think it's worse. Okay, I still think the delay is worse.
All right, whatever on Quivering Palm.
Oh, okay. All right. I will say this: if they fail the con save, they do just go to 0 hit points. Period.
Oh, I'm bad at reading comprehension. That is
Okay, so the thing is like the
That's a lot
10d10
better,
is
I would
actually
say.
the consolation prize. So you do 10d10 damage guaranteed, or you can just kill someone outright. I mean,
We
you know.
we haven't
Whereas
rated
this
this one
one,
yet, have we?
whereas this
We have
one
not.
for
It was later.
3 key points, you do 6d10 or 3d10 on a fail. It's like, oh boy.
I want to talk about the other. Well, no, do we?
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know. There's a lot of
hydrate now.
features. The 11th level feature is great.
Yeah,
It's
the
like,
lens feature is one of the best.
it's like become practically immortal.
See,
Yeah.
the thing is about the 11th level feature is that it doesn't have that clarifying piece of text that says as long as you don't die outright. So you just can't die outright. Straight up.
That's
Oh,
funny.
you're right. When you reduce to 0. Wait, that's sick.
Yeah.
I mean, I say it's sick. It really won't matter 95% of the time, but still.
I mean, that's kind of hilarious that your character can survive literally anything.
Lethal hits,
Somehow
yeah.
a nuke appears in this reality and lands on your monk. They
Yep.
will survive.
The only thing it doesn't protect against is like
Instant death.
insta
effect.
death, yeah, which is fine. God.
Is there any instant death effect? Like, hold on. What is the wording of power word kill?
They die if they have less than 100 hit points. It doesn't reduce them to
Yeah.
0.
Okay. Yeah.
What about suffocation?
I think suffocation you die instantly as well.
Oh, that's a lot of hydrates, Josh.
I don't know. I already did all of them.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh goodness.
Which is funny because the only thing I have right here because I don't have tea is Red Bull. So I've just been chugging this Red Bull.
That's terrible.
It's fine.
Oh no! At the start of its turn, it drops to 0 hit points and is dying. So no, you can actually just not suffocate
For a while, but yeah.
for a while.
Oh, that's so funny.
That is pretty funny.
So, okay, so this is an insanely strong 11th level ability.
Uh-huh.
But the early levels are a little bit rough.
The 6th level feature is kind of like the fear spell, but you could spam it.
It is. Please
pretty
note
good.
though. Please note though that it's not creatures of your choice. It's all creatures.
Oh.
Yeah, but also like you know,
Be
you
careful
can
with it.
position properly. It's fine. Like
Yeah,
there
you
will be times when it's inconvenient and you're not gonna want to use it, but in those cases, it's probably because you're ganking somebody anyway, and like at that point you're just attacking.
Okay, but as a monk, do you ever even really want to use this? Like,
The Hour of Reaping. I mean, it's nice because it's spammable and it doesn't require resources. So
literally, you just position yourself in a whole bunch of enemies and make the
kind
DM
of-
cry.
weirdly, like, if you have no AoE in your party, this kind of actually alleviates it somewhat in like a weird sidesteppy way. Like, you're like not disabling an entire group of targets, but you're making them less effective in combat potentially. But I would say in general, it's
And
not
you're
that
making
useful.
yourself go down to 0 effectiveness in combat. So you have to keep in mind your DPS drops to 0. You have to spam this every single turn.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying this is good. I don't think this is that good.
Yeah, it's not. There's so many downsides to it. It has 0 resource cost, but man, you're not
That's
doing
the part I
anything
like.
else. I know, right? Right? Like,
If it had a resource cost, it'd be trash.
it would be absolutely horrible. As it stands, it's fun, but I don't think it's good. It's been a week. I don't really remember how good the other 6th level monk abilities generally were, but this one seems underwhelming. I would
the
say.
6th level ones in general were not very good.
Yeah,
a lot of them were
yeah.
like literally just out of combat shit.
Yeah. So this is somewhere between underwhelming and just like whelming.
I mean, I think
is that
I honestly think the 3rd level ability is not that bad either. It's essentially a slightly better version of the Warlock Fiend Pact. And I got some mileage out of that. Like, obviously, it's not that useful if you're fighting one big creature, but I would say in general, most combats are not one big creature. They're like one boss and a couple mobs or like a group of mobs, right?
Yeah.
So, having some longevity in that respect, I think, is nice, and because it's scaling with your monk level, it scales pretty hard.
Yeah, it's defense, it's tankiness, it makes your monk harder to kill. It doesn't really increase your damage, so it's not that.
No,
I like.
but I mean, like at like let's just say like for instance at like 5th level, that's like 8 temporary hit points. That's like it's a hit you're eating, right?
Yeah, and you might realistically you'll get that.
At least
to like
once per
absorb a hit
combat.
for you, like probably once per combat, maybe, but it could happen a lot of times for combat.
But I was gonna say potentially though you can do it quite a bit.
Keep bopping squishies.
And like the impression here I'm is like that you're kind of more of a tanky monk. Like you don't have much damage. Actually, you don't really have any damage utility or any damage whatsoever until 17th level.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much relying extensively on defensive and then your base monk statistics. So yeah, I mean I think it's definitely like the tankiest monk.
Okay, once it gets 11th level, it is.
Well, yeah, when it gets to 11th level, it's obviously the tankiest monk.
Because like that 3rd level feature, it's debatable whether that's tankier or less tanky than just 2 AC.
Yeah. I mean that's always hard to calculate out.
We'd
have to do some math, and that sounds like kind of a pain in the ass, honestly.
And it just depends on what you're fighting.
Yeah, very much so. Hit points are obviously better if something is going to hit you no matter what.
This feature also does nothing if there are no squishies to hit.
Yeah, because it will depend on your game.
It's useless if you last hit the boss because oh boy, now you have temporary HP and
it's also completely useless if anyone else last hit anything.
Yes. You have to KS.
You have to do it, which I hate. It's not the biggest knock against it, but it definitely, oh god, it definitely hurts it a little bit in my eyes. So I don't rate this as a stellar 3rd level.
I think the Fiend feature got a lot more. I think the Fiend feature got a lot more play out of it for like Soup because it was a 2-person party, so there was a 50% chance that the kills went to them.
I mean that is very true.
With a 7-person party, you're not going to get very many last hits on your monk.
And if there's a lot of squishies, if you have one person who can AoE them down, then well, now it's a one boss fight. So it's
and you're like, there goes my 3rd level feature after you AoE'd all the squishies.
I don't want to say that this feature is useless because I think your monk level in temporary HP is quite nice. But
it's a monk level plus wisdom modifier.
Plus wisdom, yeah.
At 17th level, it's 22 hit points every time you like kill anything within 5 feet of you. And like I would say in general too, it's not like unheard of for a monk to be able to like burst one target down and in a combat.
Is that worth them doing though? Like okay, let's say you got like 150 health boss and then you got some like 20 health minion next to them. You could waste your entire turn bursting them down to gain 10 HP, or just let them die to some AoE and actually do meaningful damage with your stunning strikes and blows to the boss.
Yeah, I mean,
if the monk is not
fair.
attacking the boss, they're probably playing monk wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. But also, like, I don't know.
Anti-synergy with stunning strike and monk features.
Yeah, but I feel like the thing is that stunning strike is one of those things that they didn't really think about how strong it was in general.
That's what
like
we're
it feels
for.
Well, okay. So here's the thing, right? Is that like obviously we can look at monks and stunning strike and be like, well, obviously, like, as a monk, your job is to be a single target blaster, right? But
yes,
I would say I would say in general, stunning strike feels like one of those features that like feels more like a bug than a feature. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, but I still think we need to rate this monk's power level based on what the optimal monk play would be.
No, I agree with that, but I also wouldn't say that it's like, I wouldn't even say this is a bad feature. You know what I mean?
No, it's not a bad feature. It's just it's hard to apply, and you have to play somewhat ineffectively and clunkily.
So what to me what this does is, instead of accentuating a monk's strong points, which is like the kind of thing that will obviously propel something into being very good, this to me pads out something that is normally quite lacking in a monk, which is to say, like, hit points, I guess.
Do monks really get in danger and die that often, to be honest?
I don't know. That's very hard to say.
Because they have a lot of defensive stuff, don't they?
I mean, that's very true. They have a lot of defensive mitigation, but they don't, like, obviously they don't have like quite a large hit die, right? Like they have a D8 as opposed to a D10.
Yeah, their big weakness is their hit die in that regard. And the fact that you almost never stack con as a monk because you have unarmored defense based on wisdom. So you stack dex wisdom, con is your tertiary stat. So you're almost always going to be a little bit squishy. So this helps shore that up. But some part of me is still in the back of my mind. I'm like, Hour of Reaping, the 6th level ability, it's a good effect, but it has costs and it's clunky to use, and to a lesser extent it's not as bad. Touch of Death still falls into that, where it's like this has the potential to be amazing. In certain scenarios it's a little bit too niche for me to really consider it a great ability, and maybe even a little bit too niche to be a good ability.
I don't know.
I definitely think it's below average.
Yeah, I 100% agree there. I think on average.
Do you think it's below average?
Yes.
Because I think all the other monks had decent third
Oh,
levels.
actually, hold on. No, I'm looking at the tier list now. Yeah, it's definitely below average.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah. I mean, in general, like, I think it's definitely,
That's the problem, right? It's the third level ability, and a lot of the other ones had good third levels and then shitty other ones.
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
This is a really weird monk because it's the exact reverse. Where, well, no, it has a pretty meh 6th level, which a lot of them did, but the third level is a slightly below average, and then the later level stuff is really good.
I literally think until 11th level, for most combats, literally most combats, I'd say like 80% of combats, you're a monk without features, without a subclass.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I think I think you're right that the third level feature is like pretty below average, at least in terms of the monks we've looked at. But I wouldn't say that
occasionally proc.
I wouldn't say like it's even like occasionally necessarily. I would say that in general, if you look at kind of the average game and the average encounter, this will proc once to 3 times per encounter, depending.
Once I thought about it more, I realized that the monk has to waste their time attacking low priority targets to make it.
Yeah, but also like, you know, it is optimal.
It's like when Tyler like goes off and kills like a 2 health target, and you're like, please sneak attack the boss.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But also, like, I would say that I feel like a monk is not as bad as a rogue in terms of the opportunity cost of like throwing an attack at a low health creature. Like, obviously, yes, you are inclined to last hit things, and that is more of a niche scenario than just doing straight damage to anything and everything. But at the same time, I would also just say like, I feel like we're almost kind of we're almost, I would say, undervaluing the standard mode of play, because we're kind of assuming that there's going to be a boss to burst down, and that being something that is valuable. But like, I feel like there's definitely a lot of games where like half of the encounters, maybe even like 60 to 70% of them, is just mob encounters.
Okay, and well, if there's an encounter where it's just mobs, then yeah, your monk's gonna be hard to kill. I just don't think health is very important.
Well, that brings up the next part, which is, and this is a hard thing to gauge, and I almost don't want to go here. How often are you in an encounter where you need to last hit a mob, and also you need that temp HP to stay alive? ? And then
I would say at lower levels, I think it's much more common than by the time you're getting to like the 11th level feature.
But also remember, we valued healing as niche. This is healing.
It is.
Yeah, it's sort of.
This is inherently niche,
and it's conditional healing, and it's niche on top of niche, and it's a decent amount of healing, and it's from a class that can't normally heal.
But it's also, you say, I mean, it is conditional healing, but I would say it's like slightly different, because normally when you heal, you're spending your action to heal, and this, I would say you're spending maybe like half to a fourth of an action to heal potentially.
And you're killing something, so you're doing something that you objectively want to do during the fight anyway, assuming target prio is irrelevant here. So like, yeah, you're losing less cost. So I think we're okay. I think we're mostly in agreement that this is a below average third level ability.
I would definitely say that. Looking at what we have.
Where does the whole monk rate? If I can...
honestly, if you had
And the
to ask me
17th level
whether
one's bad.
this was stronger or weaker than Kensei, I feel like it might be on par with Kensei. It might be slightly below. I don't think it's Drunken Master tier.
I think it could be above, but that's more,
I
that
don't.
might be,
I'm not sure if I would put it above Kensei. To
I
be
might
honest,
be-
I wouldn't put it above Kensei either.
okay, that's fine. Because I'm like, I want to put it higher, but it's mostly because of the later level abilities. Even the 17th level one isn't even that stellar. It's okay. It's good. I think it's good, but
is it good?
No, I don't think it's that
I
good.
really don't think it is.
I think it's good. I don't think it's great, but I think it's good. It's good enough.
Okay,
Well, to do
Is
10
it,
it's a
d10
con save.
damage, right?
Concept.
You-
It's
okay,
a
you
con
can
save.
assume
You're
they're
using your
gonna
action. You do
succeed.
10d10
Yeah.
damage. Like you're so okay. Basically, what you're doing is, if you spent all 20 of your key points, that would be 20 d10 damage.
40.
110.
Or
No,
40
no, no.
40
they're,
D10.
they're gonna succeed both probably.
Right.
So
So
it's really 110 damage,
okay.
and you might get more, but if they somehow fail,
right.
and
It's like about
over 2
110.
turns. How much does a monk normally do over 2 turns? Like I don't know, like 40.
Okay, let's see. 1d10, so that's 5.5 plus 5 is 10.5 times 4 is so like you're doing like 20 more damage.
So normally you'd be doing 84, and now you do 110.
If
like-
like assuming that you hit everything.
But you use all your key points.
But you use every single
literally.
key point you have, which seems like such a waste.
It's just not worth using your key.
It's not a good. It's
The-
not. I don't think this is
yeah.
a good conversion.
The
rate.
only case where it becomes action economy efficient is where you just bump, where you go 10 key points, and then it's
Yeah.
slightly efficient, and then just nukes your key points, so it doesn't feel very good. So it's not really
Well, okay,
worth
so
it.
let's compare it to because this so they're D10s, right? So how let's see 4d10 25 5d10. Okay, so 5d10, right? That's what, like 27 damage, like 27 and a half damage on average. That's a fireball. But for one target.
What are you
Wait,
saying
that's
for
garbage.
5d10 though?
Well, just assuming like how many dice you would need to approach the fireball average of damage, but then I realized, oh, this is against a single target. It's actually kind of garbage.
Yeah, and while we have stated the fireball is good single target damage, we've never stated that it is at 17th level when you know
Yeah,
this feature.
yeah. This is actually a bad feature. No,
Yeah, this is not great.
I'm deciding now. This is not a good feature.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
The only good
like
thing
yes.
about this, okay.
Well, I suspect that the only you're gonna say the only good thing about it is that it's instant as opposed to the
No, the only good thing about this class is the 11th level feature,
Oh,
and that's a
yeah.
great feature.
Which is
And
fantastic.
the 3rd
Which is a
level
great
feature's
feature.
okay, and the 6th level
Yeah.
feature is bad, but I like that it's infinite.
Yeah, I mean this is a monk built for HP survival, and I guess like to a certain extent, if you were surrounded and you didn't think you could like handle all the enemies around you, you could use Hour of Reaping or whatever. But like, yeah, in general, it just feels like this. I think in general, this monk feels like it will succeed largely in games that are about like fighting hordes. Like if you wanted to play a meleeer that fights hordes, because in general melee is really bad at fighting lots of little targets. They're actually
Play a ranger.
exceedingly bad. Yeah, play a ranger, just get horde breaker. It's one time you'll be useful in your life.
Look, guys, I'm doing something.
But his 17th level is like kind of a real stinker.
So
Like it's
I
instant
don't-
as opposed to like Quivering Palm, but Quivering Palm you can use 2 turns and just like potentially kill somebody outright, which is hilarious actually.
very funny.
Yeah. So
So
I think it's a D tier.
Drunken Master basically had like no features, right?
Drunken Master had
Yeah.
like basically 0 features. Period.
That's kind of the baseline for F is 0 features. It's very like
0
Yeah.
features
Even
or
even
features that are
Frenzy-
absolutely like
even
detrimental.
Frenzy had like a detrimental feature and like a slight benefit. So it really evened out to about 0.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm okay with D. So and it is carried by the I'm okay with D.
D's fine.
Okay, Way of Mercy. Oh boy.
Ah, yes, another D for our collection. No.
This monk might be amazing, Dan.
Let's see. When you choose this tradition at 3rd level, you gain proficiency in the insight and medicine skills, and you gain proficiency with the herbalism kit.
Good start.
Good start. 3rd level feature, and it's like, that's the flavor feature. You get a special mask, which is it's just, this is just flavor. Can be a raven, blank and white. Okay. Crying visage, laughing visage, skull, butterfly, whatever. At 3rd level, your mystical touch can mend wounds. As an action, you can spend 1 key point to touch a creature and restore a number of hit points equal to a roll of your martial arts die plus your wisdom modifier. When you use your flurry of blows, you can replace one of the unarmed strikes with the use of this feature without spending a key point for the healing. Okay.
Wait, where does it say that?
Hands of healing.
Hands of healing. I see. Okay.
At 3rd level, you can use your key to inflict wounds. So when you hit a creature with an unarmed strike, you can spend 1 key point to deal extra necrotic damage equal to 1 roll of your martial arts die plus your wisdom modifier. You can only use this feature once per turn. Okay. So
okay.
So basically, you become that one Diablo character that can just kind of heal with your fists, and you can do some extra damage once per turn, which is equal to your. It's basically an extra attack on an attack that you.
That's efficient. I was about to say, flurry of blows is one key point for an extra attack. This is 1 key point for another damage that is better because you already hit.
Yeah.
So and you can do it on top of flurry of blows.
And you can do it on top of flurry of blows, right?
This is high DPS.
I was like, you can actually pump out quite a bit of DPS, especially because your martial arts die scales.
Healing? No.
Decently.
Fuck them up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's nice that it's there as utility. We've talked about healing being niche, and it's like a doesn't matter how big the heal is. If you can heal, it's pretty good in general. And because you're a frontliner, you're likely going to be in range to be healing your frontliners anyway. So. I would say this is a good 3rd level feature set. You get a lot because you get your actual ability, you get a niche ability, and then you get out of combat ability. Which,
however, at 3rd level you only have 3 key points, and
obviously
all the
limited
3rd level
key
features require key points. So once you use those 3, you're done.
Okay, at 6th level, you can administer even greater cures with a touch, and if you feel it's necessary, you can use your knowledge to cause harm. When you use Hands of Healing on a creature, you can also end 1 disease or one of the following conditions affecting the creature: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, or stunned. That's actually pretty good.
That second one, the Hands of Harm one, is nuts though.
Oh, poison condition? Oh wait, that's disgusting. My god, no save, just apply poison? Wait, okay, we're rolling. We're Gucci.
That's just disadvantage on attacks, right?
And ability checks, but yeah.
And ability checks, I'm not going
to. We went into this making jokes about more D tiers.
This is not a D tier monk already.
No, this is.
Oh no!
It's not even gonna join our B tier collection. Probably.
This is fucking, all right, let's keep going.
Maybe,
at 11th level, you can met out a flurry of comfort and hurt. When you use flurry of blows, you can now replace each of the unarmed strikes with a use of your hands of healing without spending key points for the healing. In addition, when you make an unarmed strike with flurry of blows, you can use Hand of Harm with that strike without spending the key points for Hand of Harm. You can still use it only once per turn. So this actually ramps up the efficiency because you spend 1 key point and then you do Flurry of Blows and you can use Hand of Harm. And you can replace each of the unarmed strikes in your Flurry of Blows with Hands of Healing. So that's 1 key point for 2 healings, which I mean, like, actually at 11th level, that's like 10 plus... let's see.
If you attacked an ally 4 times...
No, you can only do the Flurry of Blows, though, is the thing. So it's 2 max, but it's like that's like what 4. It's like probably a D8, right? At level 11.
A battle buddy that stays in melee range with you while you move up there.
So that's like 19 healing on average on a target. That's actually like pretty good for basically free.
Well, remember you sacrifice 19 damage for 19
and
healing.
2 stuns. So it's not free, but I since. If you're not a light monk, I mostly view the amount of healing, unless it's absurdly high, as like you should be getting them up from 0 or really just shoring them up. So I don't value the extra attempt to heal that much.
Well, so
that's
like
on a barbarian. That's like 38 healing.
But like,
that's true.
So that's the thing though, is that like at least looking at our current game right now, 20 healing even at our level is pretty good actually, as it turns out, because 20 healing, right? So yes, you're sacrificing about like 20 damage for about 20 healing, but I would say depending on the target, and especially because the targets you're going to be having access to are quite far in the front line, most likely going to be your barbarian, I would say that's actually not a bad use of it.
And once you go into melee, you better have another melee person in your party that's staying back to back with you. Otherwise, you'll never be able to heal anyone.
Right, exactly. Yeah, this 100% has to be like you're basically like the Brigitte to like a Reinhardt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Actually.
So, yeah, I would actually say that I think that the healing in this class is actually pretty potent, even beyond it just like existing, right? You have absolutely taken 20 HP in that fight. Yeah, exactly. Like 20 healing.
20 HP over 10 HP.
I would say 20 HP over 10 HP is an important threshold, because 10 okay, I would say 20 HP you can eat one more hit than 10 HP. At least, guaranteed, basically.
No, not guaranteed. Straight up, absolutely not. There are so many instances where you take more than 20 damage at higher levels, particularly in that last fight that we took.
Because this is an 11th level feature.
Yeah.
I will absolutely not guarantee that. I'm sorry. I stand here. You cannot guarantee take 2 more hits. You can potentially take 2 more hits, but it's far from guaranteed in every.
You can potentially take 7 more hits.
I mean, okay, yes, but like we're mincing sort of like use cases here. Then
okay. Well, then let me be more precise. This is objectively better than being able to heal less. I don't think it hugely improves the capabilities of this class. You'll take it, but I don't think it like enormously boosts it.
Okay.
What about the damage?
Okay, here's the thing though, is I think that in general, I would say that the difference between 10 and 20 HP to me feels like quite an important one, especially because if you're fighting a boss, it may not, right? Obviously, if you're fighting something that does a lot of damage at once, that can matter, but that probably won't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say, again, looking at a situation in which you're fighting a lot of little mobs, right? Especially if you're in a situation like we were, where you're surrounded, I think it can be a decider.
Okay, yeah, for sure. But like again, healing's niche.
It's niche.
I would like to look at the other feature. How does that thing mathematically play out? The damage version of the
damage
feature?
version. So you're I mean that's like the other thing too, right? Is that like at 11th level, yes, obviously you can dump both your healing onto one target, or you can do one healing and then just use the other one to do a fuck ton of damage. So you're really not missing out a lot.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, I don't care about the healing. What else could you be doing?
Yeah, let's see. So normally a monk would just be 4 normal auto attacks, right? With at 11th level, you can do 4 auto attacks and then
one of them
do
is a
hand of
extra
harm
hit,
once.
basically. Yeah.
Wait, but how is this different than 3rd level hand of harm? Am I
So this means you don't have to spend the key point to do it when you use your flurry of blows.
Okay. So all this is you just save some key points.
So
Which,
yeah, flurry
at
of
11th level is still relevant.
flurry of healing and harm basically makes it so that you're only ever spending the key point for the flurry of blows, which means you can essentially you're essentially doing potentially like 4 key points worth of stuff with 1 key point. Or maybe 3.
I mean,
I don't know.
Right now, I view this class. If I ignored the healing part of it and just viewed that as an option, this class has some great utility options in healing and condition removing. Those are good utility niche options. But besides that, it's just straight up a high DPS monk with very free CC that is pretty good. Poisoned is a good.
Oh yeah.
I would also say in general, this is like the only monk I feel like with like an actually usable DPS increase.
Oh, very noticeable too. Yeah.
Agreed.
Like the amount of damage you get over Kensei is actually kind of disgusting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What was Ken say?
It's like
2 extra
damage.
and then it goes down to 1 extra damage, and then 0 extra damage.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then this one is how much does it at 3rd level? It's martial arts start
at
is
3rd
like
level is a
D4?
D4, but it's plus your wisdom modifier.
Plus wisdom, which will probably be like 3.
Majority of your damage is coming.
This
So
is like
7.5
extra damage, but it does use
It costs a key point.
Assuming you go in a day where you in a short rest, you could probably use 3 flurry of blows anyway, which means this won't really matter. But I feel like that 3rd level feature starts getting more useful at like a little bit later when you can actually afford to use it more often.
When you can, 6th level definitely. When you can poison creatures is pretty nasty.
And then you have enough key points to do 3 turns of flurry blows harm.
Honestly, it's kind of silly how restrictive most poisons are, given that most creatures in the game are already immune to poison anyway.
Yeah.
That's the one downside, but I still think it's very strong.
We have not covered the 17th level, unless I'm mistaken.
I mean, it probably won't even be that good, right?
Let's find out.
Okay, as an action, you touch the corpse of a creature that died within the last 24 hours and expend 5 key points. Okay, wait, hold on. Creature returns to life, regains a number of hit points equal to 4d10 plus your wisdom modifier. If the creature died while subject to any of the following conditions, it revives them with removed, blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, and stunned. Once you use it, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. So you get one battle res basically. That's
funny.
That's funny. I would say it's not that amazing, just because you have to use your action to do it and you have to touch the corpse. But I mean, if you're playing in a game with double taps, I guess this is much better than the alternative of having your cleric run into danger.
If there were ever a time to get a res as a feature, you actually get a decent amount. Well, no, not a huge amount of HP. It would be 17th level the more I think about it. I think that's most when you want it, or really low. I don't know. What do you think?
I feel like you stop dying at this level.
That's also possible.
I feel like once you hit like the 3rd tier of play, like that's it. You don't die anymore, really. If you die, it's mostly just bullshit.
Well, yeah. So it protects against bullshit. So if healing is niche, this is very, very niche.
If healing is niche, resurrection is double niche.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing in the game where like you die very freely, which I mean is a mode of play and some people like it.
It's been fun.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure it has been, being the only one who's subject to double tap rules.
I died twice last session and got downed a whole lot more. Actually, no, only once more.
Yeah. Well, so where would we rate it? I really like the power level of those monks. It really peaks during the kind of sweet spot.
Yeah,
it does.
At 3, sure. Yeah.
Well,
and then it gets
no. I would say it peaks like 6 to 8. 100%. I would 100% agree. That's when it peaks. Like 11th level is nice, especially because it reduces the amount of key points you use. But that's just like a nice thing. This is the meat of your class.
Well, 11th. If you were an 11th level monk, and that 11th level feature wasn't kicking in, you'd only have enough to key points to do 5 turns of flurry blows harm. That makes it you go up to having 11 turns of flurry blows harm. So that 11th level feature is pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably does hurt a good bit to have to max DPS to spend 2 key points per turn when every other monk spends 1.
Exactly.
In addition to your stunning strike. So
when would you spend points on stunning strike with this class? Up until then? Because it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, stunning strike is pretty expensive. It's only really that good against like dangerous targets.
Mm-hmm.
So pull up your tier list. Let's see this. Because we all think it's good.
Yeah.
How good is it?
Honestly, I think that it could be an S or A.
I don't think it's an S.
I'm very tempted to S it just because.
Why?
Because
it just has so much like utility, right? And not just the niche utility of healing, but like the actual very real utility of applying a free poison. And being a DPS increase.
The main reason, Dan, is because I think and it's been a little while, so I should probably pull it up. But I think this is way better than Ascended Dragon from my memory. I think Ascended Dragon, all it had going for it was some AoE and a little bit of damage increase, whereas this is like a damage increase, a condition, well as some healing.
Ascended Dragon had big. It had good AoE. It also had flying.
That's true.
Cool.
Yeah.
But how much do you actually need flying as a melee class? I mean, I guess sometimes.
But is the utility of this class matching like the AoE of that class?
Yes.
I would say very potentially yes. If we just kind of look at the general like mode of play.
I just literally think that for a while in this camp, this is your monk that is not, that everyone's like, why aren't you stunning striking? They're like, I'm out of key points. It turns into combat. Every combat.
I actually sort of agree. That's the only thing so far that is holding me back from saying this is decidedly S. However, we have nothing in S tier, so I don't
think this is S tier though. I don't think this is. I don't even know if this is better than Ascended Dragon, because this almost baits you into wasting your key points, so you can't. Then you won't be doing any stunning strikes.
I mean, you say wasting your key points. You're like,
okay, is it? Would you rather spend a key point on like 9 damage or a stunning strike?
It depends on the situation. If you hit the stunning, like you're assuming that you have to maximize the amount of stunning strikes you do. But I would say in general, like you're probably spending 2 key points on a stunning strike, and it's eventually gonna hit. And I would say probably after 2 or 3, it's gonna hit. You might be overvaluing stunning strike. I don't think that's true. I don't think Dan is overvaluing stunning strike. I think Dan is like potentially overestimating how many key points it takes to stun a creature.
I'm just thinking, if there's a situation where like, it's not really worth stunning them, why are you burning key points on damage? It's obviously not a situation where you.
Well, the situation in which it's not worth it to stun a creature is when it is already stunned because you stunning struck it one attack ago, and now it's stunned.
This subclass does not have the key points to afford doing both of those.
Most combats are short.
Most combats are short. Key points do come back on a short rest.
Like let's say it's at 6th level.
Okay.
And in its first turn, you want a flurry of blows and do your harm.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have enough you have enough for 2 stunning strikes, and now you have no more. Stunning strike is 2 key points, right?
Stunning strike is 1 key point, isn't it?
1 key point.
I believe so.
Okay, so you can fight for 2 turns with 1 stunning strike per turn. So
yeah.
And then after that, you can no longer flurry of blows or harm or stunning strike.
Two turns is most of what you need in combat. There's my hot take. Except until
it's also just like at 6th level, you could. Okay, so here's the thing: at 6th level, you could use your stunning strike, or you could use your flurry of blows, and then do 4 stunning strikes, and then you don't really have anything for the next turn. But like, I would say that the use case of that is like, you're trying to stun something that's very hard to stun.
Or you just stun like 4 things.
I mean, yeah, but like, is
and
the
that's
value
a lot better than doing like 9 extra damage? Stunning 1 creature?
Like yes and no. I would say that it depends, because you would have to have 4 creatures worth stunning, because otherwise like you know, like you said, if you don't need to stun something, like why do you need to do damage, right?
I think the only situation where the damage would be better than a stun is if that creature would die to that extra damage but wouldn't have died otherwise, and that's pretty niche. Like,
yeah, okay. The way that I'm thinking about it is that the use of stunning strike is primarily going to be to take big players out of a turn, and in general, I would say you probably only need 2 key points per turn to do that anyway.
I just don't know if the palm thing, looking at it, is really even worth a monk using in almost any situation.
It is worth it if you can burn all your key points by the end of combat and not get punished too harshly for it. And so there's my hot take is that it's okay to run out of key points as long as you don't regret it.
Yeah,
because a lot of monks, you wind up ending combat with a shit ton of key points that you basically didn't use.
I think that's also true. Is that I think after the second turn of combat, you don't really need more key points. I think at that point you're wrapping up the combat.
Or it's a long one and you would have spent them more conservatively.
Yeah. Like, to me, it's just like something has to be worth stunning to assume that you'll burn a stunning strike on it. And most combats are going to have 2 targets worth stunning at most. I would say like a solid 95% of combat will have 2 targets worth stunning.
Or just one.
I think my hot take is monks are using their flurry of blows way too often.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true.
It's 1 extra attack. You already get a free extra attack. Flurry of blows is a key point for 1 shitty little melee attack.
Right, but I mean that just means that you're pretty effective without key points, and that just kind of bolsters our argument that like you don't need to have that many key points.
No, but if that's your argument, then Palm is even more useless.
I see your point. I still think it's better. I still think it's better than Ascended
It's good
Dragon.
it's good to have as an option if you have like if you have extra key points to burn.
Yeah.
Then it's a DPS increase.
I still think it's better than Ascended Dragon. Maybe not
I disagree.
Oh, what does the dragon get? It gets more damage?
A lot more damage. I think directly more damage actually.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I guess that's true. I feel like you just argued me out of the damage argument, and that who cares about damage and you're stunning.
Well, okay, but that's also
in a single target situation where Ascended Dragon is his weakest. I think it'll still out damage this monk.
Yeah, but I don't really value the damage that much.
Well, from 3rd level to 5th level, all this monk is getting is damage. Really,
is a heal.
Oh boy, a heal.
I do value, despite healing being niche, I do value the ability to get.
I value it a lot less than AOE.
Oh, I don't value AOE that much, and I'm
really. I honestly think that's to your detriment. I know we keep coming back to this, but I think that you just undervalue AOE a lot for some reason. Like, the thing is, you don't. Okay, like yes, a lot of games. And I know this is not the time to bring this up, but I think, yes, a lot of games are going to have situations where enemies are not as clumped together. I don't think they need to be densely clumped together. I think you hit 3 targets with an AoE and you get value.
Agreed.
Let's see.
So you want to make it A?
I would. I mean, like I said, I'm okay putting it in A tier. I mean,
A's fine.
I feel like if that poison condition was something that wasn't always going to be immune, then it might be S tier.
Yeah. What? How many creatures are immune to the poison condition?
It's the most common immunity in the game.
Okay, but how many? Like proportionally.
I can tell you the number is over 100, but I don't know how many total creatures there are.
Well, let's do a quick look. How many creatures are there?
Yeah, and how outdated is that list, right?
Yeah. It's 450 in the monster manual alone. And that's definitely not representative of the. So like probably about a fifth of creatures.
No, more closer to a third, right? Because if it was like 100, if it was like 120.
Okay.
So like yeah.
Well, then, what I'm saying is that I don't think that 450 creatures in the monster manual is representative of the amount of creatures you can encounter in a game.
I know, and those ones will keep the same proportion of poison resistance.
Okay.
So it'll be about a fourth of creatures, I guess. I mean,
that's not like it's not terrible. I think like in general though, like yes, it's not ideal that it's poisoned, even though poisoned is a strong condition. But I would also say, in general, you will know if something is immune to poison. Like if something is undead or a construct, it obviously cannot be poisoned. That's a pretty common enemy type. But I would also say, like, you know, I'm pretty sure like most dragons that aren't like green dragons are not immune to poison, and getting to poison a dragon for free seems pretty value to me.
That's
like,
pretty valuable.
I would take dragons as one of the more common enemy types. Things like humanoids too, like goblins and orcs and stuff. Also not uncommon, also not resistant to poison.
I honestly, I guess if I look at it as in 75% of fights where the monster you want to be poisoned is poisonable, then this would actually be S tier, because you can
poison is really good.
You can conserve your key points to just constantly keep it poisoned, which means it has disadvantage forever, and that's S tier worthy for sure.
Yeah, it's just because poison is such a common immunity that this is like kind of a complicated situation. It's really hard to rank it.
And also the damage is not too important, but the poison.
But I would say
once you get to 6th level.
In general, though, I feel like this monk has the most utility out of any of them. Like, just the amount of options you have with like what you can do. Because like, obviously, you're not always gonna need healing, but when you need it, it's nice. You're not always going to need more damage.
Or to remove a paralyze from your teammate.
Right. But I would say that in general, a cleanse is actually like pretty decent. Because like,
no, it is. It's good.
Especially because you're doing it essentially like in the same action as the
very low cost.
Very low cost.
You might have to use your bonus action to disengage to get back to your stunned ally.
Maybe, but I think it's more likely that you're going to be next to your stunned ally.
Yeah, maybe.
And like as a monk, I would say in general you're very resistant to conditions in general, just because you eventually get proficiency in all saving throws.
Yeah, what level is that?
15 or maybe 14.
Late.
14 or 15.
God. Yeah, I think I could be convinced it's S tier just for the becoming a poison bot.
I know. Well, that's
poison bot. Yeah.
We didn't really talk about it that much, but that was the other reason I wanted it really high up there, and why I decidedly think it's better than Ascendant Dragon. But I'm okay with it in A. We can revisit it later.
Yeah, I mean we can always come back to it.
Because if there's anything like way better, if there's anything better than Mercy, then I think it'll almost certainly get put in S tier, and then it's like, well, then we're pretty happy with where these are.
Well, I think we should put it in S then for now.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm very on the line. I think it's high A or low S.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Okay, Way of the Open Hand. So at 3rd level, you can manipulate your enemy's ki when you harness your own. Whenever you hit a creature with one of the attacks granted by your flurry of blows, you can impose one of the following effects on that target. Must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone. That's actually a surprisingly good saving throw for prone, because normally it's strength or con, which monsters are quite good at. But dex is something they're a lot worse at.
There's a lot of them that are shit at dex, yeah.
Must make a strength save, or if it fails, you can push it up to 15 feet away from you. Very niche, but funny. Push abilities are always my favorite in the game because they're just funny.
They're
like
always
moving people.
They're funny and never really that useful.
Yeah,
they're never really that useful. But what if they were? Yeah.
Just imagine the synergy.
I mean, hey, if you're playing a campaign in the sky where you primarily fight on sky ships, the value of this goes extremely up. And then you can make it so that they cannot take reactions until the end of your next turn, which is pretty good. That means you if you're only facing one like big target, you can get a free disengage.
Yeah, but for a monk,
you only have to hit 2 targets as well. But although, yeah, you're right. Okay. Let's go through all this because this is a short one. Is that all right?
Yeah. 6th level, you can heal yourself as an action. You gain hit points equal to 3 times your monk level. You must finish a long rest before you can finish this feature again. At 11th level, you enter as an action. As a 11th level, you can enter a special meditation that surrounds you with an aura of peace. At the end of a long rest, you gain the effect of a sanctuary spell that lasts until the start of your next long rest. The spell can end early as normal. The saving throw DC for this spell equals 8 plus your wisdom modifier plus your proficiency bonus. This is pretty useless.
Yep.
And then at 17th, we've briefly discussed this, but it's Quivering Palm. When you hit a creature with an unarmed strike, you can spend 3 key points to start these imperceptible vibrations, which last for a number of days equal to your monk level. The vibrations, so at 17 is 17 days. The vibrations are harmless unless you use your action to end them. To do so, you and the target must be on the same plane of existence. When you use this action, the creature must make a con saving throw. If it fails, it reduces 0 hit points. If it succeeds, it takes 10d10 necrotic damage. You can only have one creature on the effect of this feature at a time, and you can choose to end the vibrations harmlessly without using an action. Okay.
Wow.
There's a lot to talk about here, but I have always wondered, when in the world would you be fighting someone, use Quivering Palm, and then cease your fighting for like 16 days, and then?
Well, you wouldn't. I was gonna say you wouldn't. You wouldn't. I don't think it would be 16 days. I think what would happen is you would be fighting something at 17th level, and then you would realize, oh, this is going poorly. Your wizard would just teleport you all out, and then you would come back a couple days later and just use your action to like open the fight.
Oh my god.
The use cases of the delay will like 95% never come up, but
funny.
like I want to engineer scenarios where it matters,
right?
You know?
But
like,
this is
I would want to actively do it.
But this is like
it's
actually
very
extremely
good
funny, right?
Out of combat roleplay. Again, like any ability could be made into assassination. Go tap someone on the back and walk to the other end of the country, and then oh my emotion.
I know, right? But you say tap, has to be an unarmed
It has
strike.
to be an unarmed strike.
Like,
So you're like kicking somebody actively.
Oh, this one doesn't give you the option.
No, it does. It does not
damage.
give you the option of doing it like without.
So get into a
zero
bar fight with someone,
damage.
punch them in the face.
That's what I was gonna say. You just
17 days
someone,
later, they
leave,
explode.
and then you fucking
This is an
5-point exploding heart
exceedingly
technique them.
this is an exceedingly cruel feature to use against like a normal human. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
Like
the great thing is
they would
unarmed
literally
strikes
explode.
Unarmed strikes can be anything. So you could literally just be walking through the streets and just kick someone in the shins and run away.
Yep, except your
And then
shin
17
kicking.
days later,
but-
their heart stops.
But to be clear though, your shin kick does 1d10 plus 5 damage.
Okay, if they're just a commoner,
So-
they're gonna explode.
So
from
like
the
literally,
shin
if you did that to a commoner, their body would not be like intact anymore to begin with.
their leg would go flying. Oh, it'd be horrible.
Like when D&D characters become high level characters, they're actually horrific. They're like monsters.
I know. And the worst part is you get this feature and you're immediately like, what terrible things can I do?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
they
this-
all
this-
sound fun.
Yeah, like this
You know what you'd
is
have to do?
horrific.
You'd have to just sneak up to someone and just non-lethally like neck chop them, and then they wake up. Well, what the fuck happened? And they go about their day like wondering what happened. A few weeks later, they die.
God.
Oh my.
Okay,
Yeah.
but the rest of the
this
features
is-
are pretty good.
This is such a okay. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is such a weird feature. Like the fact that they wrote it like this meant they kind of wanted you to engineer those fucked up situations where somebody just mysteriously dies. Like
Yeah.
they wanted you to like fucking kick the king and then get imprisoned in the dungeon, and then 10 days later the king fucking explodes.
And your alibi is I'm in dungeon.
God, and it's so much better because they wanted you to do that, and you so want to do it too.
And you so want to do it because it's like if they fail to save, they die instantly.
Too bad you have to wait till 17th level and you're already a god amongst men.
It's such a funny
I would
feature.
say though, like either an instant kill or 10d10 like necrotic damage as a sort of consolation prize is still really good.
Oh, we're going backwards by this long, but I will say if they fail to save and they're a big enough monster, like that is a legendary resistance burned 110% of the time.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's a con save, so they'll never fucking fail. So
But
really,
it's a
I
con
shouldn't
save,
factor
so
that
they'll
in.
probably not fail it. And you have to use your action to do it. But I would say in general, using your action to make someone burn a legendary resistance isn't actually
An
that
action
bad
for
value.
55 damage is slightly better than just doing your normal attacks. So you might as well.
So you're not
probably
missing
do it.
like you're not missing too much, and it's guaranteed damage, right? Like
Yeah.
you don't have to like make hits. So
Miss.
Yeah, it's anywhere
actually-
between it's minimum 10d10, it's maximum all.
yeah, maximum 9. Was it like just like Google or whatever, just like that infinity, maximum infinity. That's what it is.
Yeah. So on average, this is like the best ability in
Right,
the
exactly.
entire
It does
game.
the most damage in the entire game.
Highest DPS.
Highest DPS.
Monk
Highest
there,
damage
we've
per
done it.
turn.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Potentially.
But where
it's
does
also-
that rate this class based on how the rest
Okay,
of its
I would
features
say in
are
general,
kinda
we're
garbage?
probably not going to be rating the 17th level feature, but I think in general, this is the most usable 17th level feature we've seen.
Yeah.
Here's my what if I told you that, well, okay, no, actually the part of me that's sick absolutely would prefer this one. But what if I told you that, like, arguably the Mercy Monk's Resurrection would probably be a better, like, I know it's niche, but like a little bit more damage against one person versus, I really like the con save.
I mean, it's also the thing is though, like at lower levels, things like con saves are pretty tough to argue against. But I would say at higher levels, you kind of have some tools to deal with it too. It's not like you're not necessarily going to be going into every encounter and they're going to be bearing the full force of all of their abilities at you. You might be in a situation where you can do something about that Constitution saving throw. Like let's just take, for instance, like if you had an eloquence bard maybe, and they use their what is it, the not cutting words, but the other one that makes them roll a d10 and minus it from their save. I feel like that's a pretty decent chance to fail that save all of a sudden.
They'll still succeed. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm
No.
sorry. It's just that, like,
No, okay, no. I don't agree. Okay, so here's the thing: is like 1d10. Or actually, no. For a college eloquence bard, it's 1d12, isn't it?
At that level, yes.
So 1d12 minus 1d12 is 6.5 on average. That will cancel out a proficiency bonus, just
True.
outright. Or it could cancel out 22 con score. So like, I would say that your chances are actually decent.
Not bad.
Yeah, it could feasibly happen.
Okay, but we're spending way too much time on this one
the
feature.
amount of, you're right. The amount of shits I give about that is roughly 0. So what's the third level feature?
Open hand
Garbage.
technique. It's
funny.
not like super garbage.
Okay. This is actually important.
What?
Because I had to look it up. I'm sorry. You have to flurry of blows after your attack action.
Correct. Yes.
That hurts. Oh,
It's a little bit painful.
Well,
You're
it
not
makes
getting
sense because
what?
you punch him, then you punch him away. You want to be a melee range
Well,
first.
no, because I think the
Prone.
most useful one here is the prone one, which is
I see what you
much
mean.
like it's a little
Yeah,
painful.
that does kind of ruin that.
You're not gonna get as much value out of it as say like a fighter right next to you that goes right after you.
So that turns this from a DPS upgrade for you into a support ability to help your party, which is still decent, but yeah.
Prone's good.
You will at most always at most get one advantage attack on them.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit of a bummer. I
and
thought it
your
was amazing
attacks
until I
are
read
pretty
it.
good.
I would also say that that a dex save is like really good for a prone effect.
Yeah. I liked your point a lot about
True.
we've run into so many giant enemies that have 10 million billion trillion con to their saves and like
0
plus
dex.
2 to their dex or less. Yeah.
This is also
Like, dex
free.
save. And it's free, and also there's no size limit, which I love.
No size limit. You're right. Yeah.
You can knock
You can
that
knock two
fucking
people prone.
you can fucking knock those 2 ancient red dragons right on their asses minutes before they incinerate the rest of your party while you laugh at them because you have evasion.
Yes,
I would say the
exactly.
6th level feature is pretty underwhelming.
It's better than Song of Rest.
Better than Song of Rest. I would say that at the very least, wholeness of body scales very well.
Yeah.
Because at 20th level, that's 60 hit points. Like that's that's like a boon that you're activating.
Okay. What level do casters get heal, for instance?
Heal is
11.
a 6th level spell, so 11th level.
So this would heal 33.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like even at 20th level, you at that point 60 HP is like not even a third of your hit points, or maybe a third of your hit points?
I don't know. I think it would be. I think it would be a at least half or a third to half, because like monks again have a D8.
What 20th level monk has 120 hit points?
Funnily enough, we can do the math on this. So base monk,
how much
monk
con do you think a monk has?
Base monk with 0 con is 19 times 5 plus 8, or 20 times 5, 103 health. So with 0 con, you have 103 health.
So with
1
2 con, you get another 40 health.
Yeah, 100. So minimum, you have 103 health on average, assuming you take the average. And assuming you didn't like negative your con score. So
I think a 20th level monk will never have less than 3 con though.
I'm not sure about that though.
I am pretty sure about that.
Then that's 160 hit points. Okay, 2 con, fine. Let's be generous. 2 con, that's still 140 hit points. That's half. I also kind of agree with Dan. Like, if you have 14 con somehow at level 20, what have you been doing? I guess you rolled like absolute ass.
Well, like you're okay, but I was gonna say like obviously you can roll poorly, or you can just have like invested in other statistics, because like a lot of people just use average arrays.
Yeah, I'm thinking even with average array, the number out of ASIs you have.
Okay, how many ASIs do you get?
6 by that point, right?
So 6, so that's 12 points you can allocate. You probably have 16 plus 2 in your dex.
You put one into your dex, you put 2 of them into your wisdom, and then you put 3 into your con, and bam, now you're at 20 or 20 19 or 18. And you'll have 183 hit points.
Okay.
So it'll be a little less than a third of your health, this ability.
Would you put them into your con over your wisdom?
No, I put con last in that math right there.
Con last? Okay. So 1, 2, 3. What? Wait, how many SIs do you get?
I'm pretty sure it's 6.
6? So 1, 2, 2, 1 then is what you would do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what? No.
What?
You'd probably need at least 3 ASIs to get your dex and wisdom up there.
Yeah. Okay, so the standard array is 15 oh god, 15.
But you'd have
14,
at least
13,
2
12,
ASIs
10,
to pump straight into con. And then you'd probably start at a 13 or 14, so you'd get up to like 18.
Wait, is that true?
Yes.
Hold on, I have to do the math on this.
Okay. Regardless, I don't think it's very useful to do that as for the melee person to spend a turn in combat just healing themselves. It's okay to have.
In general, I would say not an amazing ability, but I think you might be slightly overvaluing how much con women I have.
I think I am very tempted.
It's fucking work.
Maybe my numbers are off, and so you can correct me, but I'm tempted to say that you get this at 6th level. At 6th level, an action to heal yourself 18 hit points feels like dumpster tier, kind of
garbage.
I don't think it's completely worthless, but I think in general it's not bad.
It's very, very underwhelming full action, I gotta say.
It's like I want to spend an action to just do nothing this turn so that the enemy can hit me again, and we'll just pretend this turn didn't happen.
You might find a use for it. I agree that the scaling is kind of nice, and that like 60 HP will eat a decent number of attacks at 20, depending on what you're fighting. Kind of varies, actually. God, rating anything at 20th level is fucking hard, because you could be fighting anything from the king of a small country to literal god, and so how much does 60 HP matter? I mean, you'll never turn it down. How much does 60 HP for an action matter? Looking
at the number of ASIs you get, if you took a standard array, if you wanted
plus
20
races.
Well, no, yes. So I added +2 +1 for the racial bonus, right?
Yeah.
You would end up with 20 dex, 20 wisdom, 17 wait, dex, wisdom. Isn't there another stat? No,
it's just dex and wisdom.
Oh no, you're right. Okay, sorry. I must have been looking at barbarians or something. Yeah, you're about right. It would come up to about 14 or +4 con. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's super niche. It's pretty bad.
Healing is niche, unfortunately.
We agree that tranquility is like
you have nothing worthwhile to do while you're protected.
I believe tranquility might be one of the worst.
Yes.
features.
Okay. Yes. We haven't touched on this yet, but you're right. This is so dumpster.
Unlike a cleric that can channel something useful, a monk
what
can't do anything.
Why?
What are you like? I don't get why this ability is here. What are you doing that like you're not going to break this sanctuary immediately?
Like diplomacy while they're trying to kill you?
Yeah, right, exactly. That's no, you've hit it on the head. It's when you start a combat at 1 HP and you use your action to heal. It's garbage.
You're the AFK tank bot. You're just like.
Except you know what's really funny, Josh? That doesn't even work because you get it at the end of a long rest. So how do you get to 1 HP without making a single attack, thus breaking your sanctuary?
Oh, you know what? You make a good point. Yeah, this is like actually worse than garbage.
But we won't weigh the 11th level too.
Yeah, this is high. I don't understand this. I mean, okay. At 20th level, wholeness of body is garbage. Is it usable at 6th level?
I was saying I don't think it really is. I think 18 hit points from like this is you know, I almost said World of Fieldscraft, but that's wrong game that we were
you're
playing.
Right. This is pretty bad.
Yeah, I think 18 HP at 6, like in theory you'd think, but your actions are so precious. Like it's really, I don't think you would. I initially thought like maybe you'll use it sometimes. I think you might find actually more uses at high level where there's a moment where you can't do anything.
I think that's probably true. I think this is more usable at high levels, which is unfortunately not even rated that highly.
Yeah, and it's still not. Yeah, so I think it's really bad at low levels.
The third, I think basically what this class has going for is being a prone bot for your other melee to feel good about themselves while you cry.
You know what? Open hand is also funny because you can potentially push someone up to 30 feet away.
Yeah, well, yeah, you'd have to chase them a bit after the.
Well, yeah, but like you have movement.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, you're a monk. You have all the movement.
Yeah, you have a lot of movement.
Holy!
Hey, perfectly attacked now. Thanks for the raid. That's a lot of people. Big raid.
Wow.
Big pog.
And we already touched on Quivering Palm and how
it's so horrific and funny.
It's so.
This is War Crimes, the D&D ability.
Oh my god.
I feel like this is
C tier.
C tier? You think it's C tier? I was gonna say D.
I think
maybe D tier.
This is probably not better than Long Death is where I'm at. That's my issue.
Kind of what I feel like.
That's sort of my problem is yeah.
Okay, open hand goes to
another D tier. Add to our collection?
To the D collection.
Living Weapon used to be D tier.
Dan, this is the first time I've actually felt. You know how you're offended? We joke about your offense at Song of Rest. I consider Tranquility worse than Song of Rest.
Really?
And it offends me its existence. This is
I
my
agree.
Song of Rest.
I agree.
You value your actions so highly, and I don't.
No. Tranquility is the sanctuary.
The sanctuary ability.
That one. Oh, that one's hard.
Yeah. We're all in agreement that is just like dumpster tier garbage, and it's just offensive that it exists.
You will most likely get virtually zero value, whereas in Song of Rest, you will get a minuscule amount of value.
You will use this 11th level ability exactly once per campaign.
Why would you even use it once?
I think that the one case in which you're going to use this, the only use case that I can see potentially is when you're in combat and you need to be like also doing things / interacting with the map or the environment in a meaningful way.
Like you need to go out and do a medicine check because you don't have any health potions or something?
No. More like you're fighting something and it's imperative that you accomplish an objective within 18 seconds or within 6 seconds.
You gotta go shut the gate of the enemy that's pouring in.
Oh, lol.
So that's the only use case, and yeah, that's very niche. So Silver Smoke, thank you for the follow. But yeah, that's pretty bad.
I'm gonna use the bathroom, but go start reading Way of Shadow in the meantime.
All right, Way of Shadow. I remember this one being kind of fun, but I don't know if it was that good. So when you choose this tradition at 3rd level, you can use your key to duplicate the effects of certain spells. As an action, you can spend 2 key points to cast Darkness, Dark Vision, Pass Without Trace, or Silence without providing material components. Additionally, you gain the Minor Illusion cantrip if you don't already know it. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
At 6th level, you gain the ability to step from one shadow into another when you are in dim light or darkness. As a bonus action, you can teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see that is also in dim light or darkness. You then have advantage on the first melee attack you make before the end of the turn. Okay. At 11th level, you have learned to become one with the shadows. When you are in an area of dim light or darkness, you can use your action to become invisible. You remain invisible until you make an attack, cast a spell, or in an area of bright light. And at 17th level, you can exploit a creature's momentary distraction when it is hit by an attack. Whenever a creature within 5 feet of you is hit by an attack made by a creature other than you, you can use your reaction to make a melee attack against that creature. Okay.
Okay, well, so that 11th level one is just normal invisibility, not greater invisibility.
I just had a terrible unrelated thought. Josh, am I muted on stream?
You are not muted on stream.
Oh, thank you.
In fact, I haven't. I didn't even have you muted for D&D when we played on Friday.
Oh, you're so good. Thank you.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah.
I like that you can teleport to the shadows. That's fun.
The teleport of the shadows is nice. I also like that it has like the little like advantage thing to it. It's not a big buff, I would say, but I mean. It's
still a DPS loss
nice.
if you could hit them normally anyway.
Right, but if you need the advantage, it's potentially good. The relocation is good, especially because you can essentially use this for free, right?
If the enemy it's mobility mixed in with not too much DPS loss, like very little.
Yeah. It gives you a little consolation prize for using your mobility, which is always nice to have.
It's good, yeah.
Getting to cast.
I mean, little monks features usually kind of suck. So
getting to cast spells is always kind of a mixed bag. I would say in general these are very, very like kind of niche utility spells, but at the same time I would say like the Dark Vision spell is completely worthless. You're not going to be casting that. Just play a monk with Dark Vision. Why would you be playing a shadow monk without Dark Vision? Right?
But all their other spells are good.
Yeah, Darkness is a good spell. Pass Without Trace is an excellent out-of-combat spell. It actually is super good. It makes you better at stealthing than rogues. Or it makes your rogue the giga stealthiest Chad of all time.
It's probably just the spell you want for this character.
Right, exactly. And Silence has some niche utility against spellcasters.
It's fuckery. It's fuckery is what it is.
That's really what it is. Like Silence, I don't think is an amazing spell, but I really love having it. When you get to use it, oh boy, boy,
does it feel good. You might as well be casting anti-magic field.
A monk
or
with a
just
cantrip.
Like super sneaky. Like that's fun. Darkness is a little bit more niche, but I feel like you will potentially get some use out of it.
I think Darkness is quite good.
I'm tempted to, but I'm doubting it a little bit because normally I'm like Darkness is an amazing spell if you're like a fucking blade lock that can see through it, right? If you can't do that, how much value do you get out of it? It really hampers ranged attacks, and that is valid value. Also, it lets you teleport, so actually, yeah, you'll get value out of the Darkness probably.
Yeah. That being said, it is also kind of a weird feature of this, and I think it's because this is a player's handbook like subclass. Like this is one of the base subclasses. It's not quite as robust as it should be because it doesn't have the thing that Gloomstalkers have, which is the ability to see through magical darkness, or the things that Shadow Sorcerers have, which is the ability to see through your magical darkness.
But this isn't designed to game that fucking system and get free advantage.
No, but I would say it makes casting darkness and stuff a lot more awkward because your immediate thought is, oh, I'll cast darkness and then I will use my bonus action to teleport. But actually, you're not really going to be able to do that because you can't see.
Well, I don't think it's that bad to do that, actually.
And you can't see a point that's in darkness.
Wait. Oh.
You're right.
So you're right. You can't do that.
So, shrug emoji? right? Like that's the big problem with not being able to see through magic and darkness, right?
You can teleport yourself next to your darkness spell, actually. Because the darkness spell would cast a shadow.
Ah.
Well,
big brain.
It's
In
true.
fact, cast darkness
true?
in the air and make a dim light cloud.
Well, shadows aren't raw. Shadows are just something the DM decides. There's no rules
That's
for
pretty
designating
funny.
how shadows work in D&D.
I suppose not.
Yeah, I mean, if you have something covered by a shadow, it's probably an area of dim light. So
This is going to be so fucking hard to rate.
I don't think it's gonna be that hard to rate, honestly. I think it's even if you could do that, it's not that.
I don't think it's that big of a difference. Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
Like you have some utility, but this utility that obviously can be emulated very easily by a caster. It's nice that you get access to it, but like the actual augmenting of your own feature set as a monk is like actually kind of weirdly conflicted. Like, what are you actually going to be doing? Like, obviously you have options, but are you going to be using them?
I think compared to the other monks, like this monk has more utility than any of the spellcasting monks.
Oh,
For sure. This one also has more utility than the medic monk because
because it has
like this isn't a lot of utility, but for a monk, you're pretty happy with it. Now in combat, I don't think it gets very much at all.
Yeah, you really get not a lot of combat, but you do get a lot of out of combat features actually.
It's a good out of combat feature. It's just not good in combat, and I think that's fine.
You get a little consolation prize for having advantage, but it's you're mostly using it for the teleport. You're not really using it for the other stuff.
The invisibility seems pretty underwhelming to me. I feel like
that one's also more out of combat-y, honestly.
I was gonna say that's absolutely an out of combat ability. You're not using this in combat at all.
Even out of combat, it feels a little underwhelming because maybe I'm wrong, but like because you're only invisible when you're not in bright light.
Yeah, that's true. Torches do emit bright light.
The places that you want to be invisible for, this is very dramatic.
Sneaking into places.
So, right, yeah, like when imagine the scenarios in which you want to be invisible, presumably out of combat, presumably you want to sneak around. How many of those are times where you're sneaking past people not in bright light and therefore heavily need heavily need invisibility?
At that point, you would rather just cast Pass Without Trace.
And you can, and in which case I think the invisibility doesn't add that.
I don't think it does much, yeah.
Yeah, am I crazy? What am I missing here?
I don't think you're missing anything.
I don't think
it's just
you're
kind
right.
of
The 11th level feature is not that great, but I like its other stuff.
I know my instinct is always like free invisibility is the best, but
Except bright light is like everywhere. Yeah. Also, chaotic and writer, thank you for the follow. This is definitely a base monk. Do you know what I mean? Like the base subclass.
Oh yeah.
You love soup and D&D. You'll fit right in here.
Best combination.
What is the 17th level? I've already forgotten.
The 17th level is like it's like that Cobalt monk feature, but worse because it's at 17th level. Or not exactly. So when a creature other than you makes an attack or hits another creature with an attack, you can make an attack as a reaction against that creature. So you're essentially just ganging up on somebody, but you're like at 17th level, having just
not very impactful.
one more attack using your reaction feels not that impactful, doesn't it?
Especially because Monk actually... Okay, well, I guess Monk doesn't have that many reactions. They only have like the deflect blows, don't they?
Deflect missile and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's not like it's going to always be occupied. You would like to have this over anything else. But
it's just a little late.
It's just a little late for not that much benefit. You're doing like 9 damage extra.
Yeah. Well, forget the damage. I mean, like, listen, you guys.
Yes, you can stunning.
More stunning strikes.
Think about how satisfying it would be for them to hit your ally and then you just stun them off your turn. Like, God, that would feel good. It's a 17th level though.
It's actually the other way around. It's when your allies hit a creature.
Oh, my bad. Oh, well, that's wacky.
Wait, what?
Hit by.
Oh, shit.
Technically, any other creatures that don't have to be allied with you. But
it's whenever anyone's hit. Oh, but you're not going to hit your ally. Okay, I see your point. Yeah.
That would be funny, actually. That would be the funniest use case for it. Just like, you know what? I don't like George today.
Oh my
Fuck
God.
you, stunning strike. How dare you hit this child?
Oh god.
That's a lot.
Yeah, this is I would say this monk in general has utility, but it is mostly out of combat utility, which is useful, but is also sometimes gonna leave you feeling quite high and dry.
I think this monk does its out of combat utility a lot better than stuff like Kensei and.
Oh no, I would absolutely agree with that. I think like as a monk, in general, I feel like it's okay if, as a monk, you mainly get out of combat utility with your class, just because, like, in combat, even if you had nothing else, you can just flurry of blows, stunning strike. It's not actually that big of a blow to not have something to spend your key points on.
So, but where the fuck does that put it? Is my question.
I mean, I would put it in C tier.
I was gonna agree. I was gonna put it in C tier as well.
I think it's a better monk than Open Hand for sure, and Kensei for sure.
I think it's one thing to be like Kensei and Open Hand that have like in combat features, but they're like not that useful really at all, to the point where they're pretty inconsequential. And having a monk where you have pretty much like, I'm going to go ahead and say 99% of the effectiveness of a monk, but also you can interact with the world outside in many ways. Like that's
in interesting ways, yeah.
That's the reason that like that's the reason why like wizards are like so strong outside of combat, even though inside of combat they also get access to fireball for some reason. Is that you can essentially use magic, and because wizards get so many fucking spells, right? You have access to this entire like Swiss Army knife of tools that you can use to bypass most things. This is a little bit more niche than that, but
you get like the nail file on the Swiss Army knife.
Right,
That's
exactly.
better than most monks. Most monks just get like a Swiss Army knife that had all the tools taken out, and it's just
you get the nail file, and you get the bobby pin, and then you can use those to pick locks and stuff, I guess, and also file your nails.
I think the teleport is decent, so I'm willing to put it in C, but I want you to acknowledge something here, right?
What?
That having this monk in your campaign would be one of the most frustrating things ever.
Why?
Because every single instant they need to know where every light source precisely is. Every single one.
I mean,
because
only if they want to teleport.
I think that'll also depend on the game, and I don't think it's that hard to just be like, okay, there's lights here, here, and here. This is where the shadows are, right? Like,
I mean, just by near walls. That's kind of Gen 10's where we're.
I mean, like honestly, like just like appear from underneath a pillar.
Or an enemy. Enemies cast shadows.
Enemies cast shadows. That's true. You can grip someone by the balls.
Do enemies? Enemies cast shadows. It doesn't say shadows. It says dim light.
Dim light. Well, I mean, I would argue that anything any shadow is a dim light. Yeah.
Well, that I see what you mean. That could be up to rules, but like,
God, it would be such a fucking nightmare. But I'm okay with C.
I mean, I don't think something being obnoxious makes it worse.
Pass without trace, minor illusion.
Let's just say this. I don't think that having a feature or having a feature set be a little bit obtuse to use and require something from the DM that is like pretty easily remediable is going to knock it down a tier.
So it can if it's very bad.
It can if it's really bad, but this doesn't classify as very bad to me. This classifies in the exact same category as, is there 100 feet above us so that I may cast Call Lightning?
No, this is worse, unfortunately. This is more annoying, surprisingly.
Debatable. I don't think I would consider it to be worse.
Not worse. I think more annoying is what I meant to say.
I don't think I would categorize it to be more annoying. I think it would be accommodatable to me, especially because that's like your monk's feature set. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I will accommodate that as a feature of the campaign. Also, like a lot of games come with maps, and those maps come with light settings.
There's generally just gonna be dim light fucking everywhere, just scattered about.
It's Dungeons and Dragons. It's not open world dragons. Okay, Way of the Soul Knife, which is a homebrew from Think DM. What is this?
Wait, what?
What is this?
Wait, what is it?
No.
What's Think DM?
The following material is created by Dungeons & Dragons franchise creative director Mike Merles for his stream Happy Fun Hour.
Oh, it's Mike Merles.
It's Mr. Merles. Okay. Should we do this?
It's Mike Merles.
We did do
We
Love
don't-
Cleric.
We don't like Mike Merles.
Yeah, but we already did
We're
Love
Mike-
Cleric.
We gotta do it.
Okay, let's do
Okay.
it. I mean, we're also
That's the only reason I'm agreeing, Josh, is that we're close to done.
yeah, that's fine. Okay, Soul Knives. When you choose this tradition at 3rd level, you can use your psionic energy to manifest blades that disrupt your foe's minds. Your unarmed strikes deal your choice of psychic, piercing, slashing, or bludgeoning damage each time you hit. In addition, you can use a bonus action to increase the reach of your unarmed strikes by 30 feet until the end of your turn. It's very funny. And at 3rd level, you can channel ki into attacks that you augment your Soul Knives to inflict devastating psionic blows. Whenever you hit a creature with one of the attacks granted by your flurry of blows and the attack deals psychic damage, you can impose one of the following effects on the target. Oh boy. Life Drain.
Ooh.
You gain temporary hit points equal to half the damage your attack deals. Invoke Terror. The target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or become frightened of you by until the end of your turn. Invoke Wrath. The target suffers disadvantage on all attack rolls against targets other than you until the end of your turn. Astral Slide. You teleport the target up to 10 feet in a direction you can see. And, and Synaptic Overload. Your target gains vulnerability to psychic damage until the end of your next turn. Whoa,
Wait,
whoa,
what?
whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, that's...
Wait, but then your next turn you just do double damage?
Well, it's not even just your next turn. It's just your next flurry of blows hit that you did. That you're,
I
you're
know,
going
that's one
to
attack this turn at most, though.
But that's that, and then 4 more attacks. So
Next
there's
turn.
only one of these that you will be using.
Well, no. Your first turn of combat, your first flurry of blows, you hit them with Synaptic Overload. Then your second flurry of blows, you hit them with like a Wrath or a Terror,
Oh,
or
I
even a
guess
Life
that's
Drain.
true.
You do whatever, or as an Astral Slide. There's use cases for all 4 because it lets you choose them. It doesn't force you into one. And then
That's
your
true.
following turn, you just smack him with a fuck ton of damage, and you can still do more Life Drains and Terrors and burn legendary resistances and all sorts of shit. You can do this all from 30 feet away, so it doesn't matter.
That's
Wow, Wait,
No,
Invoke
no, you can't.
Wrath, and then from 30 feet away, and then you use your, and then you
No,
move 30
okay,
feet away. You're
so-
60 feet away.
Unfortunately, you cannot do that because you
Why?
have to use your bonus action to increase the reach of your unarmed strikes, and these have to be procced by your flurry of blows.
Oh. Okay,
I was so close to glorious.
but you can still make them all psychic always, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the 30 feet, that part's not going to come up very often.
Not really.
Unless you just are out of range and you know you just want to get some damage in anyway. Which is nice,
I mean,
which is fine.
it's basically a free feature.
Yeah. But like, this is really good so far. This is
Yeah.
really good.
6th level, you can perceive the auras of other creatures. As an action, select a creature that you can see. That creature makes a wisdom saving throw, though it has no knowledge that you forced it to attempt this saving throw. On a failed save, you learn if the creature shares any aspect of its alignment with you, its current hit points, and its current attitude and intentions toward you or one other creature, object, or location of your choice. In addition, for the next 24 hours, or until you use this ability again, you can use an action to determine the creature's distance and direction from you. If a creature succeeds on its saving throw against this ability, you cannot use this ability against that creature again until you complete a long rest. Okay?
What?
Basically, you use your action and you can, you basically psychically lock onto a target, and you learn if it shares any aspect of its alignment with you, so you know if it's like chaotic or if it's good or whatever. Its current hit points, lol, and its current attitude and intentions towards you or one other creature, object, or location of your choice. So it's kind of like mind reading, but
And they don't know this happens.
yeah. Importantly, they have no knowledge that you did this. At 11th level, you cause your blades to phase through physical objects and defenses. Wait, what?
Ooh.
Oh, but
Psychic
they're
blades.
psionic blades. They're psychic
Yeah.
blades. Why would they? Why would they
yeah.
be physical anyway? Whatever. On your turn, once during your turn, you can choose to forego one unarmed strike in place of forcing a creature within the reach of that attack to make a dex save against your key save DC. On a failed saving throw, the creature takes psychic damage equal to that of your unarmed strike, or half that damage if it succeeds. So
That doesn't seem very good.
it's not very good. It just turns one of your attacks into a saving throw attack.
Okay. Great.
Yeah. 17th level, you transform your physical body into the same psychic energy that comprises your soul knives. As a bonus action, you assume a psychic form, which grants the following benefits. Resistance to all damage. You have a fly speed of 30 feet. You can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. You take 5 force damage if you end your turn inside an object.
I love
that's
this
not
feature.
bad. That's like super.
I am
A lot of them are way
you.
more punishing if you end a turn inside an object.
At 17th level, you can just sit in there for a few minutes.
Yeah.
It sits inside of a wall waiting.
I mean, no, you sit inside the floor and throw your knives up from below.
Oh. Wait, that's actually nuts. The combat will be over long before this damage becomes relevant. And even if they can hit you with something, you're resistant. It doesn't shunt you. Like,
yeah, exactly. Isn't that insane?
Yeah, you can't just stay there. It's right. And you have fly speed.
Okay, I mean, this is obviously one of, if not the best, 17th level features. You just fly speed and it's ridiculous. And the third level feature is ridiculous. And then the middling features are kind of ass.
Yeah.
I mean, the 6th level one's cool, but it doesn't do it.
6th level one's like, all right.
I keep forgetting.
It's niche. Yeah.
Do you want to know what's actually kind of funny though? The resistance to all damage is not as good as we think because they get that at 8th level. Oh no, but as a full act or 18th level, but as a full action.
As
so
a full
it
action,
doesn't.
I see.
And you have to spend
would that
2 points
apply
do
to
it.
the force damage? Because you're only taking 2 force damage a turn, apparently.
Wait. Oh, Mr. Merles.
I mean, he did it on stream, so he wouldn't. Yeah, but that makes it. You're right. That is as read. Yeah.
You can just live in there.
For 1 minute, you can just
You can
live
probably
in
take a short rest before you die.
For 1 minute, you live in the floor, throwing psychic blades at all who dare enter.
You say 1 minute.
Domain.
After 1 minute, you've taken 20 damage.
No.
More like, yeah.
The benefit lasts a minute.
Well, your psychic
Oh,
form only
okay.
lasts 1 minute.
And then you would have only taken 20 damage.
And then what the fuck happens to you if you're in the floor? Normally they specify.
Normally they specify
I'm guessing
that
you get
shunted.
shunted.
I'm guessing you just die.
So normally I don't. Okay, so normally I don't value the damage so much, but it's because all the damaging features of monks have been like at best increase your damage by like 25%. This one has the potential to nearly double your overall.
Yeah,
DPS.
this is nasty. This is nasty.
And for every turn longer that the combat lasts, you're gonna keep chaining more turns of permanent
Plus,
double
like
damage.
it's
only
not
your
just
first turn that's weaker.
It's not just you though. Is the thing? Does the force damage imply the object ejects you? No, it doesn't, because other text specifies that it does. So here's the thing. Is that synaptic overload doesn't just apply to your attacks, even though you're mostly going to be using it for you. It applies to anyone that can deal psychic damage, which doesn't sound like a lot, but actually the value of that goes up a lot more when you consider that a lot of the source books coming out nowadays are adding psychic spells.
That's true. It's a common thing. I think that feature is obviously broken, and
yeah, well, anything that gives vulnerability to anything is broken, even if it's as niche of a damage type as psychic.
And since you can make all your damage psychic,
right? So you basically do double damage, and then anybody else who can piggyback off of you. For instance, if somebody's just like, you know what, I'd like to cast Ralathim's Psychic Lance today,
or Synaptic Static
or Synaptic Static, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. God, I want so many good synergies. Now, mind you, that's a 9th level, the 5th level spell. Like psychic damage is there's not a lot of good psychic damage sources.
That's like Mind Spike.
Yeah, you have to say good. You don't like viciously mocking someone for a little tiny bit of extra damage.
Right, vicious mock somebody for 2d4 times 2 damage. Did we do Long Death already? We did do Long Death already. It is a D tier class.
Sorry if you like it. To be honest, we love that 11th level ability. We were just a little bit underwhelmed by everything else.
I mean, what are you gonna do as a Long Death monk?
Oh, you're gonna never fucking
You're gonna
die.
never die as everyone around you dies, and you're just like out of key points. You can't Stunning Strike. You can't Flurry of Blows.
You listen. It's fun. Not dying is fun. Now, granted, dying can also be fun.
Not dying is fun, but the thing is
Hot
that
take,
if
D&D
you
fun.
But if you don't die, you also have to be able to do something.
Yeah. I mean, but base monk is strong.
Yeah, that's the
base
thing.
monk is strong, but base monk is strong predicated on the idea that you have key points, which
Yes.
as a long death you might not. Honestly,
that wasn't that problem.
And you might not want to use them.
You'll have 11 at that point. We're not going back to it. So, Soul Knife.
I think this is.
I almost think it deserves its own tier.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Do you think it's not? Do you think it's just S tier?
No, I think we should just slap it in S. I don't think we should put it in its own tier.
Okay.
Yeah, it has a broken 17th level. It has vulnerability to its own damage, which is great. The 11th level ability.
You do have to keep applying it if you keep killing those targets too quickly.
True.
Yeah.
The 11th level ability, I have kind of forgotten. I think it wasn't amazing.
It's obviously S tier, but like I don't think it's good enough that we should put it. Like, obviously, giving something vulnerability to any damage type is super, super, super broken. But at the same time, it's also like, does it like? I don't think it's like good enough that it deserves its own tier. And I also think it would be. It almost feels a little like. It almost feels like kind of a cop out to just put the homebrew class that's obviously busted in its own tier. In a weird way. I don't know why. It's just, yeah. Mr. Merles doesn't deserve it.
Lol. I just want to rate them
It also has just like an absolute shit tier 11th level and a pretty mediocre 6th level.
Yeah, I like the 6th level one though.
It's fun. I think it is. It opens a lot of potential in terms of using it to interesting effect, especially because targets don't know that you did it, and like you can use it on monsters to figure out how much HP they have, and you can use it on enemies to see what they want to do. You can use it on allies to see how they feel about you. You can, I don't know, mind reading in general is like one of those things that's like kind of niche, but is also kind of useful.
We've had so many shitty info about other creatures' abilities that I was prejudiced against them, but this one is actively good. You're right.
It is pretty good.
You will 100% use not just one, but like multiple of these. I think.
I think this is broad enough that it's like
it's just low power level,
wildly applicable. Yeah, it's not gonna do damage, but knowing how many hit points something has, nice. Knowing the intention of a creature against another creature, object, or location, I think is actually that covers a lot of what you're going to be doing in D&D.
Yeah, there's so many times where we're like, how do they feel about, what are your thoughts on? Yeah, no, 100% I agree there. I'm rereading this. I think the hit point one, you actually will use it maybe for fun, but you will rarely get to use it because it's a full action.
Well, it's a before combat. It's a before combat thing.
Yeah. No, you're not going to be using this in combat.
I don't think.
If you get the option, then yeah, you're right. If you get it before, okay.
I don't think you'd ever use this in combat, even if it was a bonus action.
Being able to know HP if you should dip or double down is strong. Yeah, I mean, maybe. At the start of a fight, it's a lot harder once the fight actually starts.
Yeah, and you don't always get that opportunity, but it is only an action, and it has unlimited range if you can see them. Yada yada yada. So yeah, agreed. It's good.
Okay, 11, we have 2 left.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Okay, Way of the Sun Soul. Starting at 3rd level, you can hurl searing bolts of magical radiance. You gain a new attack option when you that you can use with the attack action. Yes, this is the Goku monk.
Oh yeah.
This special attack is a ranged spell attack with a range of 30 feet. You are proficient with it, and you add your dexterity modifier to its attack and damage rolls. Its damage is radiant, and its damage die is a d4. This die changes. You gain monk levels, as shown in the martial arts column in the monk table. When you take the attack action on your turn, and you use this special attack as part of it, you can spend 1 key point to make the special attack twice as a bonus action. This basically replaces your flurry of blows, right? When you gain the extra attack feature, this special attack can be used for any of the attacks you make as part of the attack action. It's slightly worse, but only because you can't stunning strike with it, I'm pretty sure. And that's the only downside. Otherwise, this is just your attacks gain range of 30 feet, and that's it.
Yeah. That's not bad.
It's not bad, especially as a monk. You don't necessarily want to be up there.
Yeah.
6th level, you can channel your ki into searing waves of energy. Immediately after you take the attack action on your turn, you can spend 2 key points to cast the Burning Hand spell as a bonus action. You can spend additional key points to cast Burning Hands as a high-level spell. Each key point you spend increases the spell's level by 1. The maximum number of key points, 2 plus any additional points that you can spend on a spell, equals half your monk level.
Burning Hands is so ass.
Burning Hands is bad, but is Burning Hands a bonus action bad?
At 6th level, yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
For 2
Wait,
key
as a
points,
bonus
yes.
action?
As a bonus action for 2 key points?
That's actually as a bonus action. That's actually not. I wouldn't say that's bad. Because
2.5 times
for 2 key points, huh? So you're sacrificing. Basically, 2 key points is effective 2 extra attacks, and you're also sacrificing that 1 attack. So you're losing 3 attacks and gaining a Burning Hands. Will your Burning Hands hit 3 or more people? It has to hit 4 people for it to be worth it, I would say.
God, Burning Hands.
Okay, that's a little rough.
Burning Hands is a tiny, fairly small, and it does not do a lot of damage.
Yeah, but at this level, neither do your attacks.
Yeah, God, which is why you should be stunning and not Burning Handsing.
Yeah, I do think this is not very good.
Yeah.
It's at that size where the AoE can barely be called an AoE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
At 11th level, you can create an orb of light that erupts into a devastating explosion. As an action, you magically create an orb and hurl it at a point you choose within 150 feet, where it erupts into a sphere of radiant light for a brief but deadly instant. Each creature in that 20-foot radius sphere must make a con save or take 2d6 radiant damage. A creature doesn't need to make the save if the creature is behind total cover that is opaque. You can increase the sphere's damage by spending key points. Each point you spend up to a maximum of 3 increases the damage by 2d6, so you can increase it to a fireball. Wait, at 11th level, you can cast Fireball.
With a con save.
A con save Fireball. Wait, that's worse.
Which is slightly worse.
Radiant damage Fireball.
Radiant damage.
Okay, oh no, hold on. The stonk's going back up.
Stonks down, stonks up.
For
how many
3?
of these could you do?
So that is
3.
Wait, that's only 3 key points. Period.
Yeah.
3 key,
and
3 key point fireball? Oh baby.
At 12th level, that's 4 fireballs.
4 fireballs? Oh baby.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I like fireball.
Fireball.
Oh my god.
Okay. At 17th level, you become wreathed in a luminous magical aura. You shed bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. Do not take this with Shadow Monk. You can extinguish or restore the light as a bonus action. If a creature hits you with a melee attack while this light shines, you can use your reaction to deal radiant damage to the creature. The radiant damage equals 5 plus your wisdom modifier. Why is it so small?
Oh my
I have no fucking clue.
Okay.
Okay. We have to look at this because 4 Elements Monk
Yep.
Yep.
is in,
That's what I was
in that
thinking.
tier for casting Fireball for 4 key points.
Yep.
This is the same power level. Fire, Radiant, Con, whatever. It's about the same. Pretty much the same.
But you can do it a
3
level earlier.
points.
Same
Slightly
level.
better.
Oh, same level?
You learn it at the same level. You can cast one more
One
at
more
that
at
level.
that level, yeah.
And then at next level, you can also they each get one more cast.
So
Wow.
so here's my
Yeah.
current thoughts. I feel like this is in exactly the same tier as it.
You know what? I would agree.
It probably is, sadly.
I think one more fireball for that one level doesn't change that much. And
I
think
really
it's-
don't think it does.
And I think its early shit also sucks, just like 4 Elements, for almost identical reasons, which is that it gets terrible spells.
That's fair.
All right.
mean,
Boop.
I think it's basically the same.
Yeah, but I definitely think it's slightly better because both
It's-
of them have a shit
okay.
early game.
It
Both
is
of them have a
like
shit early game, but once they get to 11th level, they're actually quite a good monk.
it is slightly better. And I would say at 11th level, Sun Soul is easily much better. Because it's being able to cast one more time at one level lower is a lot better. But obviously, you know, it scales upwards. I would say that in general,
4 Elements gets shatter early, so
once, yeah,
Yeah.
right. So it's the only thing that Sun Soul really has before then is that you can cast Burning Hands as a bonus action. That's gonna be pretty niche. You're normally not gonna be doing that.
But you can ranged attack with it.
No. I will say. I think that you will use this 1 out of 10 times.
You know, I was about to say the exact same thing, and I think you will gain value out of that use 1 out of 2 times. So it's really 1 out of 20 times that you'll actually gain value. I think it's bait.
Wait, why?
I don't know.
I feel like my 1/10 includes the only use case, which is if there's 4 or more targets in your range.
Could be. I feel like I've seen Tyler Burning Hands 4 enemies and was like, man, that was just not even a good use of it then.
Really? I feel like generally the opposite. I feel like when he used Burning Hands, I was like, hell yeah. Now they're gonna die to my Spirit Guardians.
I was anyway. Regardless, we're in agreement of where it goes. Tyler, I don't know if that is at me or at Josh.
Tyler's probably like at the effectiveness of their own spell.
That's kind of how I'm reading that, but like that
at Burning Hands,
yes,
yeah.
Thank you. Burning Hands is a terrible spell most of the time.
It's a terrible spell, but it was technically probably more damage that you were going to do anyway.
Tyler, tell me you've replaced Burning Hands and Green Flame Blade now that we're 15.
No, Tyler doesn't get Burning Hands as a spell. Tyler has Burning Hands because he's a fire genasi.
That's right. Oh, but they have they get a higher level spell at some point, don't they? Oh, they get Scorching Ray or some bullshit, right?
I think that might be actually that's a good question. Let's see.
Because they start with like a fire. I'm pretty sure they start with like Firebolt, then they get Burning Hands, and then they get a second level spell. It's probably Scorching Ray, and then they're
Fire
done.
Genasi. Let's see. Burning Hands at first level. Nope. That's it. That's all you get.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Listen, you can't get like good spells from.
They're not like tieflings.
No. And even those are like I'm pretty sure even those spells are not that good.
Okay, no, but I'm pretty sure tieflings you usually get cantrip first level, second level, at first level, third level, fifth level, respectively.
Yeah, I think it's Genasi have other stuff going on. Like they get a resistance at I guess tieflings also get a resistance.
Yeah, tieflings get 2 resistances.
They get 2?
Pretty sure.
What's the other one they get?
I thought they got like fire and like necrotic or something. I don't know.
I think it might just be fire.
I don't know. The tieflings are a pretty stacked race in some cases.
They are pretty stacked. It's just resistant to fire. You get Thaumaturgy, Hellish Rebuke, and then Darkness, and then the other.
And then there's like 10 different tiefling variants.
Yeah, but those came after the fact, so.
Hey, they still exist.
I mean,
we're still rating it.
We appear to have been sidetracked.
No. This is
I think we're all in agreement.
What? This page does not yet
What?
exist. Hold on. What?
Hold on.
Wait.
Yeah, you just click the Unearthed Arcana.
This is the Unearthed Arcana.
No, click the link to the Unearthed Arcana.
Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. All right, let's see. Oh, it's in the same one as Kensei.
They never printed this?
Wait.
No. This is one that was. This is an Unearthed Arcana that never actually made it to print.
Oh, Tranquility is just it's
is
just
it Peace Monk?
The Mercy Monk, but different. I don't think it will be worth looking at that much, but I mean,
I guess we don't rate it.
It's the last one, whatever. We haven't even been live for like 2.5 hours yet. We might as well.
Wait, does it have the same features as Mercy Monk?
It has similar ones.
They're all different, I think.
This looks different. This looks totally different.
Well, you get Healing Hands, which is, I think, the only similar one, actually. Okay, all right. Path of Tranquility. When you get this tradition at 3rd level, you can become an Island of Calm. You can cast the Sanctuary spell on yourself. No material component required. It lasts up to 8 hours. Okay. Saving throw. Wait a minute. Don't monks at base get Sanctuary, basically?
No.
They have a feature that
wrong?
That does something. Let me look.
As an aside, while you're searching through this is objectively better than the.
It is objectively better
than the Tranquility one because it's not at the start of a long rest, so you can actually use it at a time where you might get some value.
Oh, I must have been thinking of something else.
Sanctuary is a bonus action, right, Josh?
I believe Sanctuary is an action.
Oh, I think you're right. I always think of the +2 AC ones, the bonus action.
So let's see. Lasts up to 8 hours. Saving throw DC equals 8 plus proficiency plus your wisdom.
Oh, it's a bonus action.
A creature.
Nice.
It is?
Yep.
Okay. A creature that succeeds on the save is immune to this effect for 1 hour. Oh, that's right. It is an action because I've cantrip sanctuary before. A creature that succeeds on the save is immune to this effect for 1 hour. Once you cast a spell again, you can't do so again for 1 minute. Lol.
Wait, that's really funny.
That is
So you can't just spam it.
Yeah, that's so you can't punch sanctuary. It would have been
Ooh,
So
you can't touch
it's
this.
it is slightly weaker than sanctuary. Because if they succeed on the save, they're immune to the effect for an hour, which is like kind of painful.
Oof. And you know they're gonna succeed on the save soon.
Yeah, at some point they will succeed.
But it'll buy you maybe a turn.
Okay, but what are you
it's-
doing with this effect? Like,
So
Well, let's keep
here's
reading.
yeah, I was gonna say stop saying healing hands.
that's why I'm asking.
At 3rd level, you have a pool of magical healing power that replenishes when you take a long rest. With that pool, you can restore a total number of hit points equal to your monk level times 10. Oh, what? As an action,
At 5th level, that's only like 50 or something.
50 hit points at level 5?
How many could you do at once?
As an action, you touch a creature and draw power from the pool to restore a number of hit points to that creature up to a maximum amount remaining in the pool. So you can just dump 50 healing on somebody.
That's actually kind of a lot.
Yes, the fuck, it's a lot. Instead of healing the creature, you can expend 5 hit points from your pool of healing to cure the target of one disease or neutralize one poison affecting it. You can cure multiple diseases and neutralize multiple poisons with a single use of healing hand.
With that pool, you can restore a total number of hit points equal to that your monk. Times 5. Wow. Jeez.
Times 10.
Yeah, times 10. Yeah, times 10. That's ridiculous.
Multiple diseases and neutralize multiple poisons is a single use of healing hands, expending hit points separately for each one.
Look
when
at
you
this.
use your flurry of blows, you can replace one of the unarmed strikes with the use of this feature. This takes no effect on undead and con strikes. So, okay, all
It's
right.
kind of stacked.
Okay, so now you have something to do with your sanctuary, I guess.
Holy.
Actually,
I didn't realize they actually wanted this to be the fucking healing cleric.
That's actually
monks.
you. This is like better healing than if you were a cleric.
God, you sanctuary yourself, sprint through a dozen
Right,
enemies,
right,
and
because-
just
because-
nuke your barbarian to full.
You can sanctuary yourself as a bonus action at any point in the combat. Whoa. Okay. All right. That's 6
Although
level.
you might as well have just done it before the combat started and just had it for 8 hours.
Well,
No, you lose it when you attack.
well,
Dan.
you lose it when you attack, right? So you can be attacking
see.
and then switch gears halfway through. Yeah. At 3rd level, that's 30 hit points. That's nuts. You're like. So this is the amount of hit points at which healing becomes like worth it to possibly do proactively. Or even if someone is down, you can just pump 45 hit points into them, and then they're at full HP, even if they're the tankiest class in the game.
Yeah, we talked extensively about. Well, no, let's keep going.
6th level, you gain the ability to diffuse violent situations whenever you make a charisma check to remain calm, violent emotions, a check to calm violent emotions, or to counsel peace. You have advantage on the roll. You must make this entreaty in good faith. It doesn't apply if your proficiency in the deception or intimidation skill also applies to your check.
That's cool. If you're role playing that kind of party where you're trying to actually not murder the shit out of people and steal their loot.
Wait, it doesn't apply if proficiency in deception or intimidation skill applies to your check. Oh, so this is
It's
this is a way to
actually persuade them.
So this is to make sure that
you
you're
can't
being
be
honest.
lying.
Yeah, and you gain proficiency in performance or persuasion. At 11th level, you gain the ability to temporarily extinguish a creature's violent impulses. As an action, you touch a creature and it must make a wisdom saving throw with a DC equal to 8 plus proficiency plus wisdom. The target automatically succeeds if it's missing any of its hit points.
Oof.
Yep, okay, makes sense. If the target fails to save, it can't attack for 1 minute. During that time, it also can't cast spells that deal damage or that force someone to make a saving throw. This effect ends if the target is attacked, takes damage, or is forced to make a saving throw, or if the target witnesses any of those things happening to its allies.
Oh, okay. I was like, whoa, OP. Never mind.
And then at
this is very much made to be a let's not fight, guys.
Yeah.
This I believe, this would go hand in hand with the Peace Paladin or whatever it is.
They have like 6 of these classes now.
Yeah, at 17th level, you gain the ability to visit vengeance on someone who fells others.
What? Vengeance?
If you see a creature reduce another creature to 0 hit points, you can use your reaction to grant yourself a bonus to all damage rolls against the aggressor until the end of your next turn. The bonus equals your monk level.
Wait, your monk level?
I remember this.
I remember this too.
That's
You have to
so
finish a
much.
short or long rest. So,
if you just played this like a DPS monk and ignored your 6th level feature, you're kind of nuts with that extra healing.
Well, yes, but it has to be it is conditional, right? Because they have to reduce someone on your side to 0 hit points because you only have
to 0. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought they had to
because
damage them.
You
sorry.
only have
That's not going to come
bonuses
up
against
that
the
much,
aggressor, right? It's not going to come up that much. But
you're gonna see your ally
it is-
like getting really low, and they're like, "I could use a heal." Actually, could you go to 0?
yeah, exactly, right? It's funny because
I promise I'll heal you later.
I was gonna say it's funny because it is it sort of disincentivizes you from healing at 17 level because you want to watch someone go down so that you can nuke someone for plus 80 damage.
Wow.
Oh, it's so funny.
Like this is such a funny ability, and like at 17th level it really is just like who the fuck cares, and like I
Yeah.
wish they had kept this for the mercy monk.
Oh yes. Oh my god, I wish this was the Mercy Monk.
That's really funny.
They would have like cemented it in S tier just for sheer hilarity, if not actual use.
So you're also correct, Aitsu. I feel like that would be the most useful way to do it, which is to have like pigeons or something on you and wait for a fireball to hit you. Or like, actually, it's not even that complicated, right? It's like if you have this one use case, right? For ranger with a beast pet, if you have a ranger with a beast pet or a mounted combatant and that mount falls to 0 hit points, baby, you know what's up. You know what's up.
Sorry, something.
Or you're just
shepherd druid.
Shepherd druid.
I mean,
Shepherd druids can solo
just be some
campaign.
weirdo who just like tames rats and sends them into fight.
Oh my god, you're fucking rat catcher.
Oh no, that guy killed our rat. Vengeance.
Vengeance will be mine. It actually makes you way crueler. It's
Blood
so
for
funny.
blood.
I see why they didn't print this suddenly.
Yeah, obviously
many
they
ways to
didn't print
game
it. I mean, just kind of like going back to it. Your level times 10 is a massive pull. Like paladins get paladin level times 5.
Yes.
Life clerics get cleric level times 5. Life cleric was the cleric that we were like, this is the only one that has enough healing to really justify
I guess
healing
we
roll.
were wrong.
And we're like, well, this has I mean, to be fair, the life cleric gets other bonuses to healing, but like this is just oh my fuck. And you
This
in
is
theory don't want to
scary.
heal, but oh my god, this
Like
just like
at 20th level, your
You can full
barbarian
heal your barbarian.
goes down and you just full heal them back up. I mean, they probably won't even go down because they have relentless rage, but you give them 200 hit points at 1 HP and suddenly they're at full health. Like, yeah, I mean, you can obviously play it more conservatively. You can use it like Paladin Lay on Hands, but that pool is so big. You can heal people for so much. Obviously, one person at a time, but so is Lay on Hands. Action, but so is Lay on Hands.
It's true. This is a lot better in land hands.
no, not action. Remember, flurry of blows.
Oh, right, and you can do it for free, actually.
shit.
All right, stonks go way up.
Yeah,
The big stonks.
yeah, it's absolutely insane.
Okay.
How do you compare that to the fact that this doesn't have a 6th level ability aside from the
I think
proficiency?
it doesn't need a 6th level feature.
It does it.
Or-
a lot
or
of
straight up.
11th level ability or a 17th level ability.
It's
Where
okay.
does
At
this-
third level, it's already that good.
At
Where does
third
this
level,
put
it is
it?
already at almost max efficiency, 99% effectiveness.
Are you willing to put an S?
Am I willing to put it in S tier? I think it deserves I'm a monk butt tier.
Wait, but is it as good as doing double fucking damage?
Probably.
I mean, like you can basically
Well,
I don't
it
think
is.
so.
It's hard to say because like this doesn't
Feelings me.
really do anything that like a monk would be doing necessarily. On top of also being able. Actually, no, hold on. Because you can still do everything that a monk does, but you have an extra pool that's not tied to your key points at all.
It's true, but healing is niche, so
Healing
it
is
won't come up
niche,
every
but
fight.
this is like a big amount of healing.
I know. I'm just saying. Dealing double damage with your psychic thing comes up every fight.
That is true. That is true.
So I don't think you can rate it above that one.
I think you could potentially rate it on par solely because like we put the life cleric in A.
No, I could say this is S.
I don't.
Probably.
But
What?
it just hurts me that this is all they get. I know it's. Oh, I just I guess it'd be too broken if it got more.
No, yeah, it's like even with just this feature set, I would say it's S tier. If it had no other abilities, it would still be S tier to me. Because it's just like really realistically more healing than like anything else in the game is really gonna have for 95% of the game.
Yeah, but yeah, we do weigh third level features very highly, and I do think there's a lot of utility
strong.
in it.
It's a really strong third level feature. It's gonna scale all the way to level 20, and in fact, probably it's never going to be bad. You get this weird sanctuary feature, so you actually get 2 third level features technically, even though they're kind of niche.
Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of like this. You know that sound I always hear everyone make when someone gets hit by the heal spell, like the oh.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, but this is that, but super low level and just as good, and you can keep attacking.
Yep,
in the same turn.
Yeah,
it's nuts. Super efficient. And it's not a resource that you need to keep track of. Okay, you do have to keep track of it, but it's not tied to your key points.
Yeah.
So it's a free pool of healing that you can do anytime you Flurry of Blows. You're gonna be Flurry of Blows anyway, and you can just fucking dump all your key points into stunning strikes. You have like 110% the efficiency of a monk, and you've grafted an entire healer on top of them.
Lol.
So let's put it in S for now and take a look at this list.
Okay.
S for now. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay just leaving it in S. Obviously,
because
look at the weird shape we've made.
I've mostly joked. I'm mostly joking about the tranquility being higher tiered. Just because I think the I'm a monk but meme is funny. This is a weird shape, but it actually I think is interesting because 2 out of 3 of the S tier classes are not official content. One of them is.
So I'm looking at
the weakest one.
I'm looking at that Mercy because we promised to revisit it.
Okay.
And I don't know if I want to move it for sure. But I do think it's probably the weakest of the 3. But I do find it interesting that
poison spam is the best thing it's got.
Yeah, that it offers something that the other 2 do not.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It offers combat utility in a way that the others don't really.
We have the high single target damage Soul Knife. We have the ultimate healing Tranquility, and then we have the Mercy that can do a little bit more damage, a little bit more a little bit of healing, and then also has poison spam.
Yeah, I mean, you basically you become less of a DPS giga spammer and more of a buff debuffer.
But like no monk could compete with the Soul Knife damage anyway.
Well, yeah, so, I mean, but we acknowledge that it's giga broken.
Yeah. So I mean, I honestly do think that it's still worthy of S tier just because being able to keep certain boss monsters permanently poisoned, they're just gonna sit there missing for the rest of the combat. Mm-hmm. Like that's broken.
Yeah, I mean anything.
There's no save.
Most things with flesh can be poisoned. I would assume.
Yeah, there's no boss monsters literally have legendary resistance for a reason, and it's to destroy,
this overrides
it's to make sure that players can't cheese a fight and make the boss unable to fight back. That monk cheeses bosses and makes them unable to fight back in 75% of the cases where they're not immune to poison.
This is like the kind of monk that enables those like cheese strats where you like beat Dark Souls without at level soul level 1 or whatever.
Lol.
Right.
Yeah, and then on top of that, they get other stuff because that's the other thing is like Tranquility has one good feature. Soul Knife actually has a good few features, but like Mercy, the other ones aren't like terrible. I'm now 100% in agreement with you, Dan. Actually, that damaging feature, while nice, is probably the weakest part of the Mercy
Probably the weakest
monk.
part. Yeah, you're right.
I think you're spot on with that, actually.
Oh, thank you. But you guys, I think you guys are right that in your initial thing that it was S tier just because that's poison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there? Do we want to change the Fireball monks in B tier? I'm shocked.
Yeah,
Not
and
that
then
shocked.
Ascendant is up there because its early game AoE is a lot stronger and more flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think that the Fireball monks actually become even with it once they get to 11th level.
Probably.
Yeah.
Slash might even be slightly higher. But
Sure.
But
they just come online so late.
It's just they just come online so late. But they can't be lower than B tier just because they become like some of the best monks out there once they're 11th level.
Yeah, as it turns out, Fireball, good.
It's like Eldritch Knight. Eldritch Knight we had in B tier as well.
Yeah.
Because
obviously it's good, but like it
just comes so late. I do not remember Cobalt Soul, to be honest.
Me neither.
I don't either. It's probably perfect in that tier. I remember we had a long disagreement out of it. I'm willing to trust that we made the right call back then.
Okay. I remember this one.
What is this?
This is the one where you analyze creatures and you can, whenever they miss, you can make an attack against them. So you get to make an extra attack.
Yeah, but isn't it? That's an extra stunning strike.
That's the extra stunning strike.
The 6th level feature is pretty.
The extra stunning strike only matters at later levels when you can actually have the key points to afford extra stunning strikes.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Both the 6th level features were pretty underwhelming. The 11th level feature was pretty good, and then.
Bro, I might want to knock this one down actually.
The Cobalt Soul.
Because I'm thinking like. If we're valuing that extra attack as high for an extra stunning strike, that only comes on later because you don't have the key points to afford that early.
I think you don't.
I don't think you do. Because you think because an extra attack that means you're gonna be doing two stunning strikes per turn isn't enough, or 4 stunning strikes per turn is enough. You want to do 5. You get that at 3rd level.
Yeah.
It's more that. Yeah, I guess
you can always burn all your stunning strikes.
Yeah, you're right. So it's more that you get 1 extra attack essentially if they miss you.
Is 1 extra attack good enough to be B tier?
Well, it's 1 extra attack and knowing
utilizes your reaction.
Knowing all of the information, which is.
Oh, that's right. We like the fact that you get to learn if they're immune to stuns.
That's true.
And vulnerable and resistant.
On the turn after you attack them.
That's a tough one though, because I feel like if we knock Cobalt Soul down, we also might have to knock Astral Self.
Well, then
down?
we don't.
No, Astral Self had some
Cobalt
stuff.
There.
Yeah.
Let's leave Cobalt there then. It's good enough to be.
What was Living Weapon?
Living Weapon was the one that's slightly better Kensei. Just Kensei better in every way, but really not that good, Eddie. But really just not that good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
right.
this one has a poison, I think. Yeah. At 17th level, you can force a con save or be poisoned. And as a mercy monk, you can just poison someone at 6th level. Period.
So yeah, that's a good solid C tier.
Yeah, I feel like you're about.
Excuse me.
I feel like this is correct.
What about the rest?
Nothing about this looks off to me.
Okay then.
I think I'm okay with this.
I think we did it.
We did it
against all odds. We've somehow done the thing that was definitely very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Monk was not too overly
too bad.
Yeah,
Fighter was a lot harder for some reason.
Fighter was surprisingly hard, But that was because some of those fighters got really weird.
Oh my god,
And
yeah.
really good.
Some of them were really good, yeah.
People just like love making absurdly complicated fighters for some reason.
Rip
Yeah, they're like
Drunken Master's so bad,
that-
Brandon.
It's terrible.
It's just like trash tier garbage. It doesn't do
It's-
anything. You might as well
It's
not.
basically
You might as well
it's
not
basically
play.
you don't have a subclass, yeah.
Your subclass is just. I guess I'm a monk.
This is a little bit interesting because this deviates. Maybe it doesn't deviate. I'm sure we've done it with other ones, but I think didn't someone at some point during the stream say that things get S tier if they like all of their abilities are at least usable to good?
No.
And no.
I mean, maybe Josh said it, but that's not like that's not an objectively true statement.
Well, yeah. Well, clearly not. Given that we settled on this, that's just what I'm
yeah,
pointing
no.
out.
I would say
No.
I would say it's a good general
I would heavily
guideline.
disagree with that statement if anyone said that.
Whoa. Listen, I'm not saying okay. I would in general say that like an S tier class should have every ability be usable, but I don't think it like that's like the only marker. Do you know what I mean? Like I think it's more flexible than that.
If this entire subclass had 4 features and each of them had the power level of like you get a proficiency bonus. That is 4 usable features. That is an F tier class.
But hold on, I don't think you're interpreting this
I'm
in
taking
the
your
same
words
way.
literally, which maybe I shouldn't.
Well,
Guys,
so
I don't even know if anyone actually said it. I could just be misremembering. I don't know if.
No. So I think I probably did say that, but I think I meant that in relation to just like as a general guideline, not as, and like as a general guideline for not like, you know, it has 4 usable features, therefore it's S tier. I probably meant that to say, because this is, you know, what I think, right? That if a class has 1 to 2 really good features and then every other feature is usable, it is S tier.
I disagree with that, and say I think you really have to look at each use case. You can't just make a formulaic guide.
But again, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Is like I'm saying that's a general guideline. I'm not saying it's a checklist that says, okay, 1 really good feature, 4 usable features, automatically S tier. I'm just saying that, like, you know, in general, that's where it frames my mind.
That's what I think of when I think of S tier classes. So I find it interesting that Tranquility is now a new one, somewhat new.
That's because Tranquility had 1 giga busted.
In that it had 1 just utterly broken ability and then very little else.
Well, yeah, but like, I mean, Dan is correct to the extent where if you had a class that had every single ability in its subclass be trash tier except for 1 ability that said you can one-shot every boss in the game, like, yeah, obviously be busted.
It would need its own tier beyond S tier, of course.
Right. Yes.
That's why, you have to look at each use case.
Oh my god, we're making Dan just like hates generalizations. Just like the moment you make
anytime you make any generalization,
he's like, well, what if we took it to the ultimate extreme?
Right,
And it's
exactly.
like,
Well, that's why generalizations are stupid.
No, generalizations are useful as a general understanding of something.
Okay, then you can't just say objectively like that's S tier. You have to say that it's probably S tier.
Yes, like I said, I'm saying that's where it frames my mind, right? When I look at a class and I see, you know, these kind of general sets, I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm thinking this is a higher tier class.
Oh yeah,
maybe it's an S tier.
That is, no one's gonna argue against you on that.
Yeah,
that's just different. That's just different. Yeah. Listen, I just take what you say literally.
I know,
Dan, you
it
take
irks
things
me.
so literally.
Too literally. There's my hot take.
Okay, when you say something like this automatic S tier when this happens, and I'll debate that.
I mean,
like, no, I didn't mean that literally. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to not know?
I speak okay. In general, I would say most people in general speak with a little bit of hyperbole, right?
So
okay, we are doing a tier list. So when you mentioned something due to the tiers, I'm kind of on here to talk about the tier list, you know.
So I'm pretty happy with this tier list.
Oh yeah,
the
we're
tier list
that.
looks fine.
I know. I'm. This is my. All right.
Now we're
Next thing you know, I'm gonna be like, pizza is the most cost efficient takeout food, and Dan is like, well, actually, if pizza was $10,000.
So what's on the list next week, guys?
Fuck, I don't even know. Is it Paladins next week? I think it's Paladins. All right, Dan, we'll take the week off, Sean, you and I, and then Dan will just rank the Paladins by himself.
No. It's Dan and Tyler doing Paladins together.
Yeah, you're right. We'll take a week off.
I don't think I'm here next week.
What does that mean?
Are you gone? Should we take a week break?
I am gone. What day am I gone?
Dan, you're like 4/5 of this tier list. Like.
Yeah, well, I am gone the 6th, Sunday the 6th.
Okay, then we will schedule for a different day. We cannot do Paladins without you. What the fuck? That would just be wrong.
There's a small chance
I'm sure
the following week. We'll worry about that. We'll worry about scheduling context later.
I could do a Paladin tier list by myself, but to be honest, doing a Paladin tier list without you seems just incorrect.
So let me tell you, Josh, if you created your own Paladin tier list, I would consider it uncanonical without Dan's seal of approval.
Right, exactly. Dan would have to stamp off on it.
I'm sorry. Like I respect your D&D thoughts a lot, but yes, we need Dan's signature on any Paladin tier list.
On any Paladin related nonsense. Yeah, you're right.
Really funny. I'm pretty excited for the Paladin tier list because I've never really looked at the Paladins as a whole like that.
As a whole,
yeah.
True.
I think Paladins.
We're finding some hidden gems here in these other tier lists. We might find that for Paladins as well.
I'm kind of looking forward to that too. I think Paladins in general, obviously we have the complication of spells, but luckily all Paladins can cast spells, so we just have to look at the ones that are different, right? And then compare the spells that a Paladin can cast to the opportunity cost of not just divine smiting every turn.
Yeah.
Right? So it feels a little similar.
Spells.
It feels kind of similar to monks in a way, where like monks we have sort of stunning strike as the benchmark. Paladins to me it feels like in many ways both the spell list and the divine smite ability is for consideration.
To my knowledge, I don't believe there is any paladin that gets a fireball fireball adjacent spell. There is there is like a paladin or two that gets shatter, which is actually for a paladin pretty darn good.
Yeah, paladins normally do not get any AoE until like 17th level.
Yeah. So that's rated pretty highly for paladins.
That's what they should do. That's what they should do to fix rangers. They should just give rangers fireball.
I mean, or instant S tier class.
Instant S tier class. I mean, if they gave them lightning bolt.
No, just kidding. Yeah, that's more fitting.
Yeah. Except if rangers got,
don't get that.
I was saying if rangers got lightning bolt, but druids did it, it would feel so offensive.
That would be hilarious.
Okay, fuck. This is the end. This is the end of the stream. I'm gonna put up the ending stream, and then we can chatter our way for as long as we want to piddle around.
I thought we did that.
We just did our piddling.
Okay, I mean, what?
Is that something you could say? Piddling.
Piddling. We just did our piddling. Piddle diddle do.
We did our piddling. We did our dawdling.
Yeah.
Well,
thanks for coming by. We'll be back, I guess, in 2 weeks if Dan's not going to be able to come next week. 2 weeks.
Or just a different day. If there are any days that are even remotely.
It would be very difficult because our days really don't line up.
They mesh perfectly in the worst way.
Yes, exactly. They fit this exactly like a jigsaw puzzle in that there's no free space.
Yep.
Well, we'll work that out later. Thanks, everyone.
Unlucky.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
I hope you enjoy us bickering because it's fun.
Bicker backer. No, I'm yeah, piddle paddling. Yeah, join us in 2 weeks for more piddle paddling, except this one about paladiddlings.
No,
you cannot.
Paladin.
Diddle in there.
You're going to be banned, and the Catholic Church is gonna come for you.
Gets banned from my local D&D group for for pronouncing paladins like Paladine.
Paladine.
Oh my god.
All right, in 2 weeks we'll see you for Paladines.
No.
Yeah, da 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 da.